It feels really stupid to do an intro for our own show with no guests.
Yeah. But regardless.
We talk about a lot of things today.
We did. It's the first time in a while that's just been the two of us, I think.
Yeah.
I can remember.
And we've tried to take some constructive feedback as far as like being a little less serious, but we don't succeed sometimes.
It's very hard.
But people talking like
we're old.
Right. Well, people talk about like it was like pre-COVID shit, but I really don't feel like it had anything to do with COVID.
Sure.
I think that I don't know, like an attempt to not
but
talk
I
about
think
the same
COVID
shit
has something to do with it because COVID made a lot of people more serious.
I don't think it made us more serious though.
I think it did a little bit.
Why?
Because we're annoyed more.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
We're annoyed more.
Yeah.
And this is more of an after show than an intro right now.
Yeah. No, it's still. No, it's not. I'm what I was getting at is we did not succeed the first half. Shit got pretty dark. The second half was a little more light. I think bringing the news back is a good call. Like that's gonna.
It is, and I actively tried to find. No, I understand, but I actively tried to find things that weren't serious.
Yeah. No, I'm saying we need to fucking bring lists back too, because that was I hate them so much. They're fun.
All right.
All right.
I guess I'm gonna go to whatever that website was that
Board Panda.
No, not that was tonight, but
BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed. That's BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed.
Anyway, which they're considered a legitimate news source now. Anyway,
so stupid.
Fuck that.
Most news sources are stupid. They shouldn't be considered news sources anymore.
So anyway,
except the Daily Wire, not Daily Wire. What is it? What's Ben Shapiro's news source? I can't think of it.
Huffington Post.
No.
Anyway, enjoy the fucking
episode. This is an episode with just the two of us.
Yeah. Fucking god damn it! You've been waiting.
This is what you get for taking 30 minutes to.
I was trying to make our video audio quality better.
I got you.
Because
you're the person that's like, I fucking hate being late. I
do fucking hate being late. But at this point of this week, these last two episodes,
I know.
What the fuck does it matter? I quit.
All right.
I've given up on caring about anything.
Here's our housekeeping.
Hold on. The little bit I care, it's fucking gone.
Let's see here. Check out Friends of the Show, Two Brothers Podcast with Troy and Trevor. They're Saturday mornings. I believe it's 11 Eastern. And Trevor also has the two, Dim Jackson Boys and Cabernet Conversation. Dim Jackson Boys Friday nights. Also, Happened in the 90s with Steve and Matt. We will be on their podcast that releases as we record this tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
October the 14th.
They sent us a little sexy flyer.
Yep.
Yeah. I sent them a picture of us that you hated just for that purpose.
Dumbass Dudes podcast.
Yeah.
They're great.
I made a comment on their post today. I don't know if you saw that or not. And they said to be sure when you come on our show to again rib Benny about it.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't watch porn, evidently. Or hasn't for years.
Weird.
And I just simply commented that his life is a porn. And he's like always walking through basically what's a corn maze.
His life is probably one of the higher searched porns there is.
Right. But I just, I said that basically he's at any given time walking through a corn maze full of dicks.
Yeah.
Like literally drowning in a swimming pool full of dicks.
So check out the Andy Harris on Twitter. Yep. Also, he's on Instagram, and he had his now lovely wife Gina had a little funny video of him on Instagram today. This, it's everything you need to know about Andy.
Yeah.
So
and Andy's a good dude. He really is.
I'd like to have Andy back at some point.
I'm gonna at some point make a time lapse of these and just watch myself slowly getting whiter with every episode.
The thing is,
it's happening.
I'm back on my no sugar, no grains now. So we'll see. We'll do a time lapse. You'll watch me get smaller and you get larger.
Well, I'm about to start. I talked to Amanda like over the weekend. I was like, I feel like shit. Like I've got to.
That's me. My knees are killing me.
And that's one reason why I had the beard, because I feel thinner because it covers up this shit a little bit. I mean, from the side view, no. But as far as like, if you just at first glance, I'm wearing a baggy shirt and the beard, you're like, okay, he doesn't look too bad. But then I wear a tighter shirt and
you look like you're bulking up to be Santa Claus in a couple months.
Right. I'm cultivating mass.
Well, tonight we're going to drink Barton London Extra Dry Gin. Never had it, but
neither have I.
But yeah, here we go. You said you were taking it easy tonight, all right?
Yeah, that's fucking good. The fuck did I just knock off?
I think you knocked off your SD card case.
Whatever.
So I'm going to try it just straight real quick, and then I'm going to go with my.
Yeah. I'm going to start sitting. I'm going to start holding like a backpack or something the whole time, just like I'm hanging out at school. Like we're just doing homework and shooting the shit. I'm waiting on my mom to pick me up.
Oh, God. Cheers.
Oh, God damn it. Dude.
It's okay.
It's not bad. That's a very bitey gin.
It's extra dry.
Well, obviously it's extra dry, but I mean, even the back end of it's got a little burn.
You want?
Yes. Or you can do it either way.
I pour all my bitches drinks.
It's all right. All my bitches pour my drinks.
Yeah.
So anyway, how have you been since the clusterfuck that was?
I have bitten my tongue so far.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how much. You want some lime?
Yeah. I'll
go for it.
You don't know how much what?
I didn't know how much shit you were going to talk about it.
Not much yet.
I guess because your tattoo will be done by the time unless they're tuning in live tonight.
Yeah.
Your tattoo will be done by the time the audio releases.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and say it. Like, so I enjoyed talking to Jeff. Like, he was, enjoyable to talk to. He's a little intoxicated, so didn't stay on the mic that well. But the clusterfuck that was the evening in general.
Yes.
Like, had he been in studio, or it's just been the three of us, I think it would have been much better. But starting 2.5 hours, which I hate.
Do you think he would have showed up late?
I don't know.
You think his girlfriend would have showed up drunk?
I don't know. Regardless of any of that, like, I had fun talking to him. He's an interesting dude, but the overall evening was a clusterfuck.
Had we been sitting there, no mics, no headphones, I would have enjoyed talking to him. But because I had headphones on and he was all over the place, it was a bit annoying.
Again, but
he is cool to talk to.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the lead up to that point is why things had gotten to that state for the interview. And I feel like that was the clusterfuck, was the lead up and then the deering because of all the fucking shit. So but like I said, I feel like had it been like just three of us, like less booze and like not 3.5 hours late.
The less is the thing. Like you and I.
Yeah, I got you.
It's very easy to not drink.
Yeah. Well, after I get going. But like I told you earlier, I'm going to take it easy tonight because I had like a 64-ounce fucking margarita with lunch. So I was buzzed up until like 2 hours ago.
Nice. Where'd you go?
Mexican place by where I work.
What's
Amigos and tequila, or tequila and beer, Amigos and whatever.
Interesting. I don't know that I've heard of that.
I always get the same thing there because I'm not, weirdly enough, like outside
don't like Mexicans.
I like I like street tacos, street Mexican food. Yeah, absolutely. But most of like the southern whatever, I just don't like that much. But they have these carne asada French fries. That's basically carne asada, French fries, and fucking some queso. That's it. That shit's amazing. But most I just don't enjoy most Mexican food that's here in the South.
I like street tacos, size tacos. I hate corn tortillas. That's the thing.
Interesting.
I've had some that are really good, but overall, I hate corn tortillas.
Right.
Best Mexican, soccer taco. Soccer taco is hit or miss, Trevor.
Soccer taco can eat a dick.
Soccer taco, I've had some good Mexican, as far as a Mexican restaurant in the U.S. goes, that's not a authentic Mexican restaurant. I've had some good Mexican food there, but I've had equally amounts of shitty Mexican food.
Well, there's a place, it's not Mexican food, but
it's for what conversation we're having, yes.
It's fucking, Southern California Baja tacos. That's what the fuck it is. But anyway, it's not Mexican food.
Whatever.
But anyway, there's this one spot that's over off of Western. It's in like this little residential area, and it's got like a tiny cafe. They don't speak any English, and it's the best stuff Mexican food I've had in the Southeast.
So there's a place really close to here, kind of where Kingston curves around. There's Mayo. There's a little Mexican grocery store there called I can't think of it. But anyway, if you go into the grocery store, in the back left corner of the grocery store is a little like 5-booth Mexican restaurant. And so we used to have a guy from Texas, and he just lives and dies by Mexican food, finding it, and he said it's the best Mexican food in Knoxville. Yeah, I had it once, and it lit my ass up.
Yeah. Well, I will say to date, the best Mexican food that I've had has been in Arizona, like hands down. Like when I was living there, it was fucking unreal good. But
best Mexican food I have was in Guatemala.
Well, yeah.
I mean, what do you hear me say? Oh well, whatever.
Obviously, it's just a little further south.
So a little bit,
just a little bit. Guatemala.
It's Central America and Mexico's North America, but right. Anyway, so Trevor, best Mexican food, soccer taco.
But,
that makes sense.
But I don't know, man. Like I'm weird with. To me, it's kind of like after you've had. And not just for me, I'm weird with shit like this anyway. Like I'll eat Mexican food wherever, but for me, it's kind of like pineapples. Like after like being in Hawaii and eating fresh fucking pineapples and shit. I'm like, nah, fuck your fucking peasant tacos or tacos, your fucking peasant pineapples.
Yeah.
I'm not eating that shit. Like I hate like pineapple here. Like I won't eat it now. It's ruined it for me forever. I'll drink pineapple juice out of the little cans and stuff, but
sure.
But
I love a good pineapple, especially put one on the grill.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's just not the same, man. Like after eating them there, you have a kebab, but versus eating them here, can't do it. And my wife,
you can do it. You just want to be pretentious about it.
No, it's terrible in comparison. Like it's awful. And I hate it. It makes my soul sad.
Sure. But if you can't have that, you might as well have.
I would I'd rather not have it than to have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's changed my life that much.
Is it the same way with sex? You'd rather not have sex than have mediocre sex?
Pineapple and sex are two different things.
I mean, sex and then sex of the mouth. Did you know that pineapple is a symbol of swingers?
It's become that. Yeah.
But
I read a thing the other day as somebody said they'd bought them a new camper and they like pineapples and tropical shit. And they'd gone to some campground and had pineapples all over it. And they said they had no idea until,
till the sun went down.
Till the sun went down and the dicks came up.
Oh God.
So I sent you, we didn't do last week. We didn't do our picks.
That's what I was just fixing to say.
And I texted them to you. I was like, I was barely on my phone.
You fucked up my Sunday because I love to watch football. And because we hadn't made our picks, I didn't watch football. Like I've worked on my stairs.
I'm glad I ruined.
That's why I texted you. Like, dude, you're fucking up my football.
Yeah. And I didn't honest to God, I'd thrown my phone in my room and I just left it there.
Yeah.
Like all weekend.
It's a good thing I didn't rely on you to come help me reset this shit up like you said you were going to.
Well, you never texted me.
It doesn't matter if I had. You threw your phone in your room.
Well, you said I'll let you know, and you didn't let me know that night.
No shit. It was 1:45.
Well, you didn't ask, so it doesn't matter now.
You're right. It doesn't. I waited till last night and set it up.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did because it gave me some more time to think about it. Because shit looks good tonight.
It looks good.
Anyway, so we didn't announce our picks from last weekend. So we will go. I'm going to go through last week 4 picks and go with what the updated score is. So I took the Chiefs and the Eagles. The Chiefs were -7, and I took the Chiefs.
Okay.
And I won. I hit that one.
Okay.
The Steelers and Packers were playing. Packers were -6, and I took the Packers. I hit that one. Titans and the Jets were playing. Titans were -6. I took the Titans, and I did not hit that one.
Okay.
You took Browns -2 over the Vikings. No, you took the Vikings +2 over the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
You did not hit that one.
Okay.
You took the Titans -6 over the Jets as well, so you didn't hit that one either. And then you took the Ravens -1 with the Broncos. You took the Ravens, and you hit that.
Okay.
So I hit 2 and you hit 1. That brought our score to you 6, me 5.
Okay.
I gained 1 on you that week.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
So
I'd like, because I don't even look at whatever the fucking spread is because I can't remember how the spread works. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
It either way, it will.
I think it bothers you a little bit that you can't grasp that.
No, if I took the time, like it's not that I'm incapable.
It doesn't take any time. I explained it to you twice. You should know it by now.
I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I can tell.
If it mattered to me, I would care, but I don't care. So why would I try to retain the information? Like, I don't fucking care. Anyway. So what do you want from me?
Nothing yet, because we have to do now last week's picks.
Yeah.
The picks that we just made this previous Sunday.
Oh, the ones I texted you?
For this Sunday, yes.
Okay.
That we would have announced Friday night, except it was a shit show.
I thought we just did that.
Nope, that was the week prior because we never went over what the score was.
All right.
So week 5, you took the Lions. They were playing the Vikings. Vikings were -10, and you hit that one.
All right.
You took the Saints -2 over Washington, and you hit that one.
All right.
You took the Browns +2.5 over the Chargers, and you did not hit that one. That brings your score to 8 overall.
Okay. When you sent that to me, I looked at my phone, fucking football. I literally just went. I just picked 3 teams. I didn't even look at the fucking.
That's fine.
Numbers.
Even if you had looked at the numbers, you wouldn't have known what they meant. So.
Right. Well, right. But I mean, I'm just saying I pulled 3 teams out of memory. Like I didn't even look at the pictures you sent me.
Let's see here. Dolphins played the Bucks. The Bucks were -10, and I took the Bucks, and I hit that one. 49ers and Cardinals. Cardinals -5. I took the Cardinals, got that one. Giants and the Cowboys. Cowboys -7. I took that one. I hit all 3 of mine.
Nice. So we're tied.
So we are tied 8-8.
Okay.
And now it is time to make our picks for week 6.
Sure.
I've got my picks written down.
How many weeks is this shit?
17 weeks this year.
God damn it.
Of regular season.
So much
then
time
you go to playoffs.
Waste on this bullshit. Okay, sure. So Bengals are, I'll go Bengals over Lions.
You're gonna go, what's the
3.5 Cincinnati?
Minus 3.5 Cincinnati.
Yep. Because Boomer Esiason. He's still playing, right?
Bengals and Lions, right? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Him and John Elway, still top 2 in the league. Let's see. I'll take Cardinals over the Browns. They have Cleveland has -3. I'm just picking one off of each.
You're taking the Cardinals, though?
Yeah.
And you took the Bengals on the other one.
Yeah. And I'll say Cowboys over the Patriots. Dallas is -4. There you go. There's my picks.
All right. So you took the Bengals over the Lions, -3.5. Browns over the Cardinals, -3.
You say Bengals or Bengals?
Bengals.
Huh.
It's a cross between an I and an E, I think. But anyway.
There's an A, isn't it spelled B-A-N? Right?
No, it's B-E-N.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Bengals.
Yeah.
You took Cardinals over the Browns. Browns giving up 3, which is interesting because the Cardinals are undefeated.
Okay.
It's not a you took the Cardinals over the Browns, yeah. Anyway, Cowboys, you say you took the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Cowboys over the Patriots. Cowboys giving up 4.
Sure.
All right, so I went Vikings and Panthers. Vikings giving up 1. I took the Panthers. And the Cowboys and Patriots, like I said, Cowboys giving up 4. I took the Cowboys. You took the Cowboys as well on that one. So, and then Bills and Titans. I believe this is the Monday night game.
Yeah.
Bills giving up 5.5, and I took the Bills over the Titans.
Okay.
I don't like the Titans.
That's fair. So that's fair. I've only been to a couple. I've been to a few Cowboys games back during the Jerry Jones dynasty era. Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman and fucking Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin and all those guys.
Gotcha.
At the height of.
Wait a minute. It doesn't matter. That's fine. Nothing. Doesn't matter. I was going to say, Jerry Jones is the owner. Still owns.
Yeah,
the
that's
Cowboys.
yeah. I meant fucking goddamn it, what the dude name? Dude's about as chubby as me, except to have silver hair pushed back to the side. Fuck, I can't remember what the coach's name was. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, I was a Cowboys fan back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every fucking
they are called America's team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah.
I think those are the only NFL games I've ever been to.
I have been to one NFL game.
But I remember when I was a kid, I was very disheartened when I went to the game because I'd see them on TV with my dad and shit watching. But I didn't realize they took commercial timeouts.
They didn't do that back then.
Yeah.
The time in between plays was slightly extended. Now they actually take commercial timeouts.
Well, I just remember being there and they'd stop the game and because the commercial would play on the Jumbotron, and then
that's weird.
Yeah.
That's
and maybe they would just time it with timeouts and shit, but I remember fucking seeing it, and I was like, why are they taking so many breaks? This is stupid. Like I just assumed like on TV when you have a commercial, they were still playing and they would just
occasionally that happens, but most times.
But I remember I was a kid, I was like, this is stupid. Bunch of pussies.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, so did you you watch Chappelle Special yet?
No.
Why?
I'm been busy, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Drinking 64-ounce margaritas on your lunch.
Oh, that was
lunch break.
But yeah, I worked my ass off otherwise. No, but like yesterday, I went in.
You were off work Monday.
Yeah. I was doing shit, bitch.
What?
I don't remember.
Exactly. Not celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day.
No, you know what? I was a movie behind, so me and Amanda watched Harry Potter 2 and 3. Because it's our
I know, I get you. I got it.
Our October tradition.
That's sure.
Watch all the fucking Harry Twatters.
That's fine.
So yeah.
Why October for that?
Halloween, witches, ghosts, and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Halloweeny.
All right. Fine. That's fine. I just don't. I've never gotten into Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Tried to with my kids because they were the perfect age for it. And I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Just couldn't.
They're all right. Like especially the last half of the movies are a lot better because they get a lot less kiddish and more like young adultish, I guess. So they're a little more
teenager-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they call young adult is the classification.
So what do you know about the Chappelle Special?
I know he like pissed off like half the trans community with it, which I think is amazing.
Pissed off half of a lot of the communities with it.
And but the thing is like the Chappelle, like I'm not surprised. I also don't care. Because the reason I respect, and I was talking to Amanda about this, is like I have the most respect for comedians that won't apologize for jokes.
Yeah.
Like was it Michael Richards when he went on the whole N-word rant? Like, yeah, that deserved an apology because that wasn't part of his bit. He lost his shit.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
Like he was intentionally being an asshole and hurtful and racist. But like if you're a stand-up comedian, you make jokes, you stand by that shit. And that's why we've talked about this before, but that's why I love Chappelle and Bill Burr and some of those guys, because they won't fucking apologize.
So if a comedian apologizes, you immediately have no respect for them.
No, I lose respect. That doesn't mean I lose all respect, because they can still be funny or enjoyable, but I don't.
So did you lose respect for Norm Macdonald when he went through and apologized for some shit a couple years ago?
He did. Did you watch? No, did you watch?
He did. He went in to apologize, and then he stuck his foot in his mouth.
No, did you watch
Stern?
Oh, on Stern. I didn't see the one on Stern.
Yes, because he was apologizing, and he said,
no, but
to think that that's what I meant, you would have to be, and he was going to say retarded, but he stuck his foot in his mouth and thought he was saying the better thing and said, you'd have to have Down syndrome.
Right. No, because so I saw this thing. No, yes, I did see that, but
then he went on The View.
The View. Did you see the one on The View? He wasn't apologizing.
No. He went on and apologized for his joke, but he also ripped a new one with some other things as well.
No. If you
I've seen it.
I've seen it too. Did you notice the mint pop? Every time he said something that wasn't true, he put a fucking mint in his mouth. He trolled the shit out of him.
I understand okay, but is it trolling if you go in there and apologize?
Yeah.
Because he never came out and said that wasn't real at all.
But that was the thing that fucking Norm Macdonald did.
I understand.
Like he was very Kaufman-esque in the sense that you didn't know if he was sincere.
I completely agree.
Sincere.
He is the most underrated comedian ever.
Like watching it, because I went through and watched it, and I didn't look like the Stern thing was a little more of a sincere, but the one on The View, I didn't look at as any part of that as an actual apology. Like it started out, I was like, that's odd. But then I noticed anytime you would say some shit like specific, he'd fucking pop him in. And then he'd wait for a minute and he'd say some other shit like, do you regret blah, blah. He was like,
how do you know that that's what the mint was for? Because he was known for holding a cigarette in his hand because he had quit smoking.
Right.
How do you know that wasn't that? Because you couldn't hold a cigarette on daytime network TV.
And maybe it was, but it came after specific, like after, if they ask him a question, whatever his answer was, someone would be fine, but it'd be like, yeah, I'm very sorry I said that. And he'd fucking pop a mint. And then he'd be talking, nothing. They'd ask him a question, nothing. And as soon as he said, well, how do you feel like this? He goes, yeah, I regret that I ever did that. He'd fucking pop it, like almost like it was his own joke. And I could have totally
been his own joke. I don't know.
And that's the thing. If I thought it was sincere, it'd be a little bit different. But like with Norm Macdonald, like I don't think he was a sincere apology.
Sincere or not, no one that apologizes is sincere. They're only doing
but I'm saying, but Norm Macdonald didn't give a fuck about his career for the most part. He never has.
Yeah, except that he went to apologize on Stern and on The View because Netflix told him to.
Right. But again, he
had a show on Netflix and he wanted to keep the show.
But did he?
No, he didn't. But I mean,
and that's my point, though. And I'm not trying to argue either way, but I'm just saying, knowing Norm Macdonald, if you watch how he was through his career, I don't believe it for a second he gave a shit about that apology.
I don't believe he gave a shit about it. My thing is that he did it anyway.
I don't feel like it was a real like. Yeah, he's one of the most calculated comics.
Absolutely, 100%.
And for him to quote unquote put his foot in his mouth and switch to Down syndrome instead of retarded, I don't think that shit's unintentional. I really don't. He's so calculated.
I don't know. The thing on when him saying Down syndrome on Stern didn't sound like normal Norm. I don't know whether it was or not. It didn't sound like that. My thing is, I don't believe that any apology is sincere when you're
forced to do it. No.
Sure, but not even that. I think when a comedian goes out, when what is his name? Kevin Hart, when he apologized for the tweets from 10 years or so ago, I believe that was sincere because he came out before he got in trouble for it,
right?
A while before he got in trouble for it, and said, "I said some stuff and I didn't think about it. Yeah, I'm sorry or whatever."
Yeah, and obviously,
but when you're pushed to apologize to either save your career or keep a show or whatever, I don't believe anyone's sincere.
No.
It's just like when a corporation comes out and apologizes for something. I don't believe they mean that.
Yeah,
They're just going wherever the wind blows to
for
keep
sure.
business.
And I guess my whole thing, like I said, with Norm Macdonald, and again, I don't know either way, but just knowing, like watching interviews, watching how he was through his career and he's been kicked off and fired off of shit. He got banned from a city for a while for one of his stand-up bits because it was supposed to be family friendly, and he came out immediately with, "Hey, what's up, cunts?" and whatever. So I don't feel like that he was sincere in any apology. I feel like it's all a bit. I feel like Norm, any public appearance that he had was a bit. Every fucking one of them.
I just know that his sidekick on his Norm Macdonald Live and Norm Macdonald has a show, Adam Egget, said that backlash that he got for that situation really hurt him. Like really messed with him.
Interesting. Because they've made some of the most racist jokes on the show I've ever heard, that he doesn't give a fuck. So I just found that interesting. It wasn't for the norms. So, haha, pun intended.
Yeah. No, but that's Adam Egget had said that it really messed with him. He didn't understand why, or couldn't hated that someone would think he truly meant what he was saying about it, and that it wasn't just a joke. Interesting or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't lose any respect for him for it. I just felt sad for him. Yeah. That he went and apologized.
Yeah. But I do. As far as a comedian, to me, it's the whole kind of like nut up. Like if you're going to make the fucking joke, make the fucking joke. You know, it's not so much, again, not that I don't like Kevin Hart anyway, but as a comedian.
I don't either.
But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy their comedy. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy what they've done, but just as far as like as a comic, like they dropped out of my list of favorite comics type of deal.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if Chappelle came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I was insensitive and I shouldn't have said this," and I've been wrong, blah, blah, I'd be like, yeah, Chappelle show's still awesome. Your old specials are still awesome, but I don't give a shit what you do anymore. You know, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would lose the respect for him, but I would still watch a special to see if it's funny.
Yeah,
because I want to laugh.
Yeah,
but
again, so I guess the respect doesn't change consumption. It just general feeling.
And I heard
it really just changes the feeling of when you say Kevin Hart, I'm gonna be like, fucking douche. I'll still watch a movie that he's in, or you know what I mean. It's not nothing to do with the enjoyment of consumption as much as it's just my reaction in my head.
Yeah, I'm so sick of and just can't stand the whole outrage culture that we've got over stuff. And I've heard Ricky Gervais say multiple times talking about people getting mad about jokes or whatever, and he's like, "You're not mad that I made that joke, right? You're mad that everyone laughed at the joke,
right?"
And the thing about it is like you stand to gain nothing by getting outraged at all those people. You're not going to be able to get them fired or whatever, but maybe you can get the celebrity that says it fired.
Right.
And that's a power trip. But it's a, I don't know. I've been listening to a ton of Sam Harris and Ricky Gervais this past week. Yeah.
I think a big part, I think it's wanting control. It's wanting to control other people. And it's the same thing. It's the same fucking thing as when you're a little kid. We both had fucking 2-year-olds like, tell them to quit looking at me. They called, they looked at me and they said I smell bad. And they get super pissed because their brother said, because all they want though really is for that person to get in trouble so they can feel better about the situation that they're in.
It's like telling someone, you said whatever you did, apologize to me.
Yeah.
Like, no. I mean, okay. If they're truly sorry that they said it, and maybe they shouldn't have said what they said, then they should apologize if they're truly sorry. But if they're only apologizing because you said apologize to me, you're not getting an apology. No. You're just getting English language. Right. That's really all you're getting. It's fucking insane.
And I've always had a hard time with that, just in general. Like people that I know, like for the sake of the relationship, and I'm not even talking about romantically, just for the sake of the relationship or the interaction, whatever, like that apology needs to happen. I still have a very, very hard time. So I've become very eloquent at wording an apology that's not really an apology, that still fulfills their need.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Nope, I've never done that. I know. But no, like what I've learned, especially like in work situations where it's whatever, like I've run my mouth, I called somebody a fucking.
It's very unfortunate these turn of events have taken place.
No, what I'll always do is I'll find I'll fucking analyze the shell of it, right?
Sure.
And I'll find an element of it that maybe I could have done better. And that's the part I'll apologize
You'll
for.
say, I could see where I should have done such and such better.
Yes.
It's a great tactic.
It works great because then they feel like that they're getting vindicated, whatever they need an apology for.
They feel like they won.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for me, like I've told, this is not too long ago, I told the guy, I was like, you can eat a fucking bag of dicks. He pissed me the fuck, one of the higher ups.
You say, I could have done better. I could have said eat a dick, not a bag of dicks.
But how I worded it, I was like, listen, I approached that the wrong way and I apologize. That's how. That was all it was. Like, because I could have said calmly, you should eat a bag of dicks. But instead I was like, no, you can eat a bag of dicks. I was like, I approached that the wrong way. It's semantics at that point, but it makes me feel like I'm not giving anything up and still giving them what they want.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I just don't like for the other person to feel like they got what they want.
Right.
That's the thing.
Well,
in a work situation, you have to.
Like I said, it boils down to convenience, right? If it's for work or whatever. For sure. Yeah.
So I feel like
I'm very sorry if part of my attitude was a little rough at the start of this episode.
No, you know what? No, that's fine. That's understandable. I feel like you owe me an apology for Friday night. That's what you owe me an apology for.
I apologize for other people's behavior being outside of my control.
Anyway, what I was going to say is
fucking shit.
I feel like a lot of people are missing the point of what Chappelle was saying, though, because he makes it very clear at one point. But
he always has. Like, if you follow what he's saying in the commentary, it's always obvious what he's saying and what he's making jokes about.
Yeah, but he straight up tells you what he's saying.
Yeah, I've read that part. Yeah.
Yeah, he straight up says, like, and I've even heard some people who are defending him misquote him.
Yeah.
Like, and he said, it's white people, you're changing the rules or whatever. Like anyway, regardless. But then someone else like, no, his problem is with white people. Like, that's not what he didn't say. His problem is with white people. His problem is the way things are getting changed by the problematic white people, not me and you.
Of course not.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway,
the only problem here is, the fact that we're here on a fucking Wednesday. It's the only problem we have going on.
That's your fault.
Yeah, it is my fault.
Yeah,
entirely.
So
I'm going to a haunted house on Friday with the kids. Like, I'm picking up the kids, and that was whatever. And then Jude's got a football game
on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll be back till late. But anyway,
that's fine.
Oh, I was going to plug on the 29th that weekend, because I've still got to go up Saturday, which is the 30th for Jude's games. But Friday night is, I guess, old Donnie Don Richardson, Saints and Sailors.
Yeah.
They do a big show every year, I guess, around this time. And they always do play two bands, like their hits. Like, I think this year it's Green Day, and they do one set and then a break, and then they do a whole separate band. They're doing Green Day and the Foo Fighters.
Nice.
This year. And they asked me to come up and do a song with them on vocals.
Nice.
So
on vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave your fucking guitar at home.
Yeah, I'm leaving my fucking guitar at home. No desire to do that. I've never, but Don was like, hey, do you want to do one of the songs? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool.
Where are they doing this at?
Brickyard, where the fuck place we have that
Brickyard Bar and Barbecue.
Yeah, I think it's there. They have big shows every now and then, like Teenage Bottle Rocket came through there. But anyway, but yeah.
All right, 29th, I'll go.
Yeah, but he was like, hey, you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, fuck, I haven't sang without a guitar in my hands. Like, it's gonna be bad. Like, this is probably gonna be really, really bad.
Yeah.
That, and I haven't been smoking nearly as much, so my gravel, like, I just hack a lot now because I was trying to.
What song are you doing?
I'm on the Green Day set.
Okay, but what song are you
doing?
I
was just trying to fucking think, asshole. Don't rush me. Nice Guys finished last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That'll work for you. I think it'll work for your voice. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I was like, fuck. It's like, because I don't practice for shit, but I was like,
no, I know.
I got to run through this a few times, because I was like, I don't even know if I remember all the words to this song. So,
but you got to run through it without the guitar.
Yeah, no, I have been just like audio, whatever. Right. Like,
are you recording yourself to hear where you're off?
No,
you should.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know how to sing. It's just singing the song.
No, I know, but you should, to see where you're screwing up so you can work on that. All righty.
Honestly, it's the singing part I'm not concerned about. It's the lyric part that I'm concerned
when
about.
they call you up on stage, I'm going to boo so fucking loud.
Please do.
I'm going to boo.
Please do. Because the thing
that
is,
fat guy sucks.
Right. Like, but see, the thing is even if they play the song verbatim, like on the record, it still feels different singing it live with a band. If I can't rehearse with a band, then it's not going to do me a lot of good just to record the fucking album, because it's going to feel different and sound different anyway. So anyway,
are you going to go and rehearse with them?
No.
Good idea.
No, they're not. They don't have it's guest vocal parts. It's not like the band just have, because throughout the night on different songs, they have different people come up.
So
and sing.
Every song is a different singer.
No, not everyone. Just occasionally they have a friend come up and guest on whatever.
Okay.
So yeah. So I don't think it's a different person. I don't fucking know, but they're not having all these people into practice that I know of. Anyway, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll go.
I'm
gonna go.
It'll be like karaoke, basically. Is how I'm looking at it. Like, I don't go through a song and practice it before I go to a karaoke bar. So.
Well, sure.
What's
your go-to karaoke song?
I don't really have one. I don't ever go to karaoke.
I didn't think so. It doesn't sound like something you'd be into.
I think I've done karaoke, I think twice. And both of them were like at shitty fucking smoky ass bars, like not like a proper karaoke bar. But I think I did was it not the Big Bad Voodoo Guys version, but the Benny Goodman's You Mean a Bottle, make 3.
Okay.
And I think I did a Weezer song once, but I don't remember. That would have been like 2006. So I don't,
I've done karaoke twice as well. They're both at bars, but we were there.
Is there
for
a karaoke bar here? Like,
pretty sure
we should go.
We should totally go.
Yeah,
I would totally do it.
And we should put the video clip up on the.
So I have a new choice for a karaoke song if they have it available. I've never sang it. Out anywhere. Fucking Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer.
Okay. Would you practice before you went?
I mean, would I stand? Are you talking about would I turn the song on here and take a microphone and try it like that?
Yeah, before you went to karaoke.
No.
Okay.
No, probably not.
Because that ruined the whole point of karaoke.
No, I understand that. Yeah. No, I've sang it enough times in my car. I know the song, but no, that one's a good. I think that's a good karaoke song.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're on Knoxville and you want to see me absolutely fucking tank at a live show, the 29th is a great one to come out to.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be bad. Plus, I won't know how to do it with my hands because I don't have a guitar. So it's going to be really uncomfortable.
Hold your dick.
That's what I was going to say. I should show up like in a cod piece and fucking like leather pants and shit.
You should dress like Michael Jackson. It's Halloween, so it's a costume.
Right.
You should dress like Michael Jackson, do white face and everything, and just stand there and hold your dick with your hand up there the whole time.
And just
the whole time.
That's it. Just
wait a minute. Who's like the anti-Green Day from the 90s? I'm trying to think who would, not anti-Green Day, but like who would have been their competitor? The Offspring, maybe?
No, well, I mean, honestly, they were competing against like Nirvana and shit if you're wanting to go opposite genres.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying you should, I don't know. You should dress up like a complete like Green Day competition, like someone from a band.
I was just going to say,
dress up like hair metal.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The leather pants, the cod piece. I wish I knew
leopard pants.
Would be funny if I could figure out what Don was wearing and just wear the exact same outfit he was wearing on stage. That would make me really happy too.
You should call him the day of and go like, I'm not sure what to do. Like, what are you wearing tonight?
Right.
And then do it. And when you get to the microphone before the song starts, you're like, I thought this was a dress up party, so dressed up like Don.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway. So Chappelle.
It's like that went nowhere.
Yeah.
Just
whatever.
like my life.
Yeah. So Chappelle, you haven't watched the special, so that's one topic we can't really talk about.
We just did.
Yeah, we did more talked about apologies.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find it hard, even if you're like truly in the wrong? Do you find it hard to apologize?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
No. If I know, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. If I know I'm in the wrong and I wasn't doing it to be an asshole, then no. But if I was doing something because I felt like someone deserved it, and even though it's wrong, but I felt like you deserve that, that's harder to apologize for.
Okay.
That's a little, it's not hard, maybe the wrong word for it, but it's definitely, because there's something satisfying about an apology when you know you did something wrong and you apologize to someone.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of satisfaction or I don't know, maybe it's just self-gratification.
Self-gratification.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look, I owned up to something. I'm responsible.
No, it's not. That's not the feeling, though. That's not the feeling. I mean, that definitely happens, but I mean, that's not the feeling I'm talking about. But it feels worse if you did it on purpose because you felt like they deserved it in that, but you know you shouldn't have, and then you apologize. Then it took the really great feeling you had for treating somebody like they deserve to be treated, and you don't get that self-gratification of the apology.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I don't know.
Interesting.
But you don't have a problem apologizing?
I don't have a problem apologizing for anything at any given time. Like if I feel like I'm right, I whatever. But I mean, if it really comes down to it, if it benefits me, I'll apologize. If it doesn't, I won't. Like that's what I have no issues with it either way. But that comes from my incredible moral flexibility too. Like if it benefits me, sure, I don't care.
I have a thing. I say
now, if I'm pissy and mad, that's a whole different thing. Like we'll get in arguments or whatever. But like if I want something out of the situation, I'll apologize if I have to. I don't give a shit. But
what about, like you said, when you know you've done something wrong and apologizing?
It's the same as if I've done nothing wrong and apologize.
It doesn't feel any different.
No. It's all arbitrary anyway.
Why?
just is for me, like, because I don't feel a moral obligation either way, like for right or wrong or anything like that. So it
Sure,
doesn't
but
matter.
it's got to be more than arbitrary, because you definitely feel like you've done something wrong in one situation,
No,
and you feel like no. That's what we're talking about. Do you have a problem apologizing when you know you've done something wrong?
but
That's what you asked.
yeah. But again, no, I don't.
Right, I understand that, but I'm saying it's still they can't feel completely the same.
They can.
No.
Yeah, absolutely can.
No, because there's a different mindset.
No, because there's not. Because to me, when I know I've done something wrong, I know because it's something that you think I've done is wrong. I probably don't have a problem with the fact that I did it. I don't think it's wrong.
Well, then that's not apologizing when you know you've done something wrong. That's apologizing when you know that they think you did something
But again,
wrong.
so that boils down to how I view things.
Yes.
I don't feel like there's a right and wrong for half this shit. Like, again, so when I do something quote unquote wrong, it's because that's something you view as wrong.
Yes, but have you ever apologized for something that you viewed was wrong? That you viewed as, you should not have done this. I should apologize to this person.
No.
Never apologize for anything.
No, well, again, but that goes back. I'm not explaining it well, but it's because, like, if I've apologized, it's not because I feel bad about it or feel like I've done something wrong. It's because it's obviously affected you negatively, and this is going to rectify the situation. If I apologize to you, I'm indifferent to it either way.
So do you just feel like you've never done anything wrong?
No, I don't feel like there is a right or wrong.
You feel like there's no right or wrong, period.
I think there's better and best, but I don't think there's right and wrong.
Why? Because you feel like you should put child molesters to death because you feel like molesting a child is wrong.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's not so much of, and this is where I'm got to be fucking careful.
No, I'm just saying, like, if there's no right or wrong,
right,
then I don't understand some of your viewpoints on things.
Well, okay, but again, that's better and best. So
better and best.
Yeah, exactly. As far as the range of things go, right? And I don't mean, again, that's where you key on words. I don't mean like there's.
I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to figure out any way that you meant that.
And this is why I'm trying to explain to you. I'm getting tongue tied. So here's the thing. A lot of like our morality is orchestrated by the society we grow up in. Whatever.
Yes.
There's things that are common across the board, as far as throughout society or throughout the history. It's generally been looked at as wrong to like murder another human being or take a life, but fucking kids was completely acceptable in certain societies.
Yep.
Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. But I feel like if you're the type of person that compulsively inflicts pain and suffering on another human being, you need to be taken the fuck out of the earth.
Why? If it's not right or wrong,
because it's inflicting pain on someone else.
Yes,
physical,
but if it's not right
suffering,
or wrong,
emotional pain.
Right, but you could have done something that inflicts emotional pain on someone.
Not physical.
No, but you said physical and emotional.
Both together. You can't have one without the other when you're sexually assaulting someone.
Okay.
Because when I feel like if you're the type of person that's intentionally damaging other people with intent, with whatever the case may be, and I'm talking about physically, like violently hurting people intentionally, then you have, because in order for society to balance, right, to work,
sure,
there has to be a baseline of morality.
But you don't feel like that's right or wrong?
In the scheme of things, no.
What do you mean in the scheme of things? Because the way I view it is, I follow you up until then.
Mm-hmm.
I follow you, and I think I almost completely agree with you up until then. There was a time, I mean, the fucking Roman philosophers were fucking kids.
Yeah, left and right.
Right, all the time. And it was acceptable. Right or wrong, but that's a hard one to say.
But see, but the thing is philosophically speaking, right and wrong is entirely how you view it. What you view as right and wrong is,
but there are some inalienable things about society that are right and wrong.
That's where society is dictated, and what's ingrained is, especially you or us growing up in a Christian household, we're going to view certain things as right and wrong.
I'm taking that out of context, out of the conversation. You can.
No, because it's, by definition, that a lot of the things you view as right and wrong are deeply ingrained in the shit that you grew up in. That's just how it is. It's inseparable.
But I'm talking about things that society in general right now, our society in general, views as right and wrong.
Right.
Those just make sense.
By that definition, yeah, there's a right and a wrong. But as far as like the universe spinning, that shit's going to change. It's going to be different.
It's going to change eventually. But I'm saying,
within our societal construct, But see, I view that the world is a super shitty place, right? Sure. And so the reason to be kind to people, to treat people well, is because it's less suffering all the way. Like the end goal is for all of us to suffer as little as possible. And if you're intentionally doing things,
heaven.
Yeah, but if you're intentionally inflicting pain on people, you need to be fucking taken out of the herd.
Why?
What's that?
Why?
Because it's inflicting pain and hurt and making that person's existence fucking awful.
But so what if it's not wrong?
It's not about right and wrong. It's about happiness and unhappiness.
But in theory, you've just replaced right and wrong with happiness and unhappiness, which is you're just interchanging words at that point. It's like when
okay, let me
a
phrase it.
diehard Christian says you shouldn't cuss, but then they say dag nabbit. It's the same thing. You've just replaced the word.
It's the same meaning behind it.
Well, it's the same. It's the same heart.
Well, I guess you'd have to define though. If you're talking specifically with like right and wrong within the confines of a society, then yeah, absolutely, it's wrong, right? But conceptually, then like because there's no doubt whether you're calling something right, whether you're calling something wrong, if it's harming someone else, there's a negative effect.
But do you draw the line at harm at physical, or do you draw the line at it has to be physical and emotional?
I draw the line at intentional.
All right.
Yeah, and
I can kind of start to get on board with you because I think intention has to be taken into consideration.
And granted, I have my own, lack of a better word, moral compass of things that. And so here's where I'm trying to debate. I'm trying to like leave a separation in the two because I have my own, lack of a better word, moral code, right? The things I think are the better way to do things that are better than this. But I still feel like people that are intentionally like involved in fuckery with an intent to harm other people are lower or worse or whatever than other people are. And I think when you do enough harm with intent to most people, you get the fuck out of the herd because you're fucking making shit harder for everybody. It's kind of like if you had somebody with no legs trying to lead a fucking line. Throw them bitches in the back of the line because they're going to fucking hold up progress.
Okay. I thought we just send all these people that are committing the crimes whatever to Australia and be done with it.
Right. No, my thing is I'm 100% like, it's kind of like if you have say you got 6 fucking dogs, right? They're fucking dogs. They're going to piss on shit. They're going to play whatever. But if you got one dog that starts killing your other fucking dogs, you're going to put the goddamn dog down. That doesn't mean that dog is doing something like,
or maybe
immoral.
He becomes the house dog,
right?
Because then he is protecting you.
Yeah. No,
I get what you're saying.
No, my point being, if you have a group of dogs, the dogs are amoral, right? They don't understand right and wrong. I mean, they can understand obedience to you, but as far as, shit in the floor, it's the same as shitting outside. There's not right or wrong. Fucking biting somebody or not is not right and wrong. It's just something they do. So if that one dog starts killing the other fucking dogs, you're going to fucking either put the dog down or get the fuck rid of it.
Yeah.
And it's not because what it's doing is right and wrong. It's because it's harmful. And harmful and right and wrong are different things.
I agree that they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
They can be the same thing.
They can be. Yeah.
But they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to argue against the value of morality. I'm just talking about how I view the things. I mean, I think harm with intent, it just needs to be eradicated because it's harmful to the progress and to people functioning harmoniously and for a functioning society, regardless of what the rules of that society are. People with harmful intent in general are slowing down the progress of that society.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
I think I'm on board with you up to a certain point.
Right.
But anyway,
I mean, you use the extreme example of
sure.
molesters.
Well, it's just because that's one of the more recent things that you've come out and said. If you do something like that, you should just be taken out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's circumstantial.
Okay.
And I would think that most of the people that we grew up with Christian-wise would agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's circumstantial.
Really?
I think, but yeah, because being molested as a child, statistically, you're more likely to perpetrate that.
I understand that.
And I think in some cases, I think it's a case-by-case basis. In some cases, these people can, without being killed, can live in society.
Yeah, but my argument was there's no way to check it. By the time you find out they're perpetuating it, they're already doing it.
Chemical castration.
Okay.
Takes the desire away.
Yeah.
It does. Takes the desire that overpowers and causes it to happen. The thought is still there, but the desire, that burning desire for it, is not there anymore.
In theory.
I mean,
isn't that
in reality?
Are you talking about exclusively to males?
Yes.
There are female fucking molesters too.
There absolutely are, and they should be killed.
I'm just saying, because even if it's not like, it might take the desire to fuck a kid away, but if you still want to see a kid naked and kiddie porn and touch that shit still is 100% there.
Understand that.
My point being, it's one strike rule, man. Fucking take them out. And it could, by the time you find out that somebody's been like, it's too late by the time they've molested some fucking kids.
Sure.
Fuck
I
'em.
understand that. I think it's a case by case basis.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts on it.
I just don't understand why you'd give anybody a chance after that shit. Because the thing
is,
I
don't want to.
No, hold on. Because
there's got to be something done.
Statistically speaking, there might be more likely, but you still have a large percentage that's not becoming molesters if they were molested as kids.
What if we had an island and we took all the pedophiles to it and we called it? I don't have a joke.
I was waiting on a joke.
I don't have. There's a joke but it's someone else's joke, so I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Only if there's no way to swim the fuck off and there's no trees to build.
That's
rafts.
the thing. That's what Epstein was trying to do. Keep all the pedophiles on his island. And
right.
But no, the Clintons killed him for it.
Kill every goddamn one of them. I don't give a shit.
Sure.
Because they have no value. That's maybe that might be a better way of pointing out, other than the fact that they're intentionally harmful. But they have no value. They offer nothing good to society.
But maybe you chemically castrate them and their brain goes somewhere different. And they cure cancer.
Fuck them. I'll keep cancer.
Yeah, but you're saying they have no value. There's no way to quantify that.
Right.
It's just strictly opinion and assumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kill them all.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's like anybody. And I get case by case. Like when you're young and stupid, shit happens. But if you ever violently rape a woman, same thing. Take them the fuck out. There's no second chances for that shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Minimum 25 years of daily raping.
Interesting. You think rape is a good punishment for rape?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Painful rape, though.
That's fine. I just know I have heard interviews with rape victims that had said that is not a good punishment for rape. Like really? that is not. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Exactly. That's the
point. No. But I'm saying like they don't. There was a comedian. God, what is his name? He died back about 5 years ago.
My point being, I would want that punishment to be so vile and reprehensible and emotionally damaging that it's worse than anyone could wish on them.
Okay.
Because most of the time when somebody says, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemies, or I wouldn't want anybody to go through that, means it was so reprehensible and horrible, they couldn't fathom.
Well, most of when people say that, they're just exaggerating.
Right, but I'm saying if that's legitimate,
I know what it means.
To them,
yeah, sure.
The feeling they got is so reprehensible, they wouldn't want that's the worst they could think of. And then that's the case. That's what the fuckers need.
I got you.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like would be great if we brought back fucking public executions and shit like that and fucking give the psychopaths and sociopaths fucking jobs. Keep them off the street instead of fucking, going and killing, 40 fucking people, burying them in a yard. Give them a job fucking killing criminals on death row. Like that would satisfy that urge.
Like Suicide Squad style.
Fuck yeah. Not even Suicide Squad. Like I would volunteer for that job. I would go and shoot people in the face on a daily basis.
Yeah, but you don't fall into the category of what you're saying.
What are you talking about?
You're saying the people on the streets, the criminals on the streets or whatever.
No. But I did. You associate psychopaths with criminals.
No, but I thought you said that.
No.
I half listened to you.
Meaning the people that might become
I got you.
Serial killers and shit. If you give them a purpose and a job where they can fulfill their one.
I got you. I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
I misunderstood. I thought you were saying people that are doing that.
Oh, no. People that have the potential to do that. You could put it to a constructive use.
Well, how do you know that they have, there's no way to know if they have the
not most normal people aren't going to apply for jobs fucking like killing people on a daily basis. If they do, they won't stay around long.
Most normal guys in the South would.
They say that most wouldn't.
Okay. Well, sure. But
most of the guys that talk a lot of shit here in the South, well, I'll do this, do that. They're the biggest fucking pussies in the world when it comes to that kind of shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
So why didn't you join a branch of the military and try to get into some special forces? The gun for hire type
way
thing.
Too much fucking work.
If you're going to get into that group that does that thing you're taking, you're still going to have to work. They're not just going to go, all right, here you go. Here's your gun. Here's your targets. No, that's not the way it works.
No, it's not targets. It'd be like lined up, like kind of firing squad. Like for me to you.
I don't think that those people that you're talking about are willing. I'm not going to say they wouldn't enjoy it, but it's not the same. It's not the same as the hunt.
No, it's not the same as the hunt. I'm just talking about the actual act of killing. Like, yeah, you give me a gun, fucking handcuff you behind your back and just
I think you round up all of the gang members, especially the young ones, and you go, here's the gun, here's the guy, pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Because then you may, in theory, scare the gang out.
Or you just desensitize a whole generation.
Or you just desensitize a whole generation. I mean, could be. Yeah. I don't know.
But honestly, like just in transparency and arguing, like I'm conflicted on some of these things that we've talked about as far as my general viewpoint on them, because it goes back and forth. Because it's hard for me to balance sometimes the way I view the universe, afterlife, whatever, in its entirety, and the way I view things on a case by case basis, right? Because we're, as human beings, we're constantly in conflict one way or the other. Like none of us have one consistent, non-contradictory viewpoint start to finish, right? Everybody has things in your life that conflict. So like internally, right, I have, like we said, my own quote unquote moral compass, sense of justice, whatever the fuck you might call it. But I also recognize as a whole, morality is fucking arbitrary and relevant only to the society in which it's being implemented. Right. And so and I have my own sense of what those things are, like a child molester or whatever. But
sure.
But again, you grow up in a different time, you plant the same thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We grew up in this time. That's why I say there's right and wrong, but it's right and wrong for this society at this time.
Yeah. We could agree on that. Yeah. So I just meant in general, like, I don't think there's hard and fast rules. But again, that's where I talk about pulling back and saying, okay, intentional harm, you're just doing damage to the fucking, like, people as a whole. So it's not a matter of right or wrong. It's just, taking out the people that are infecting. But again, like I said, I do have my own internal, but I don't like the term right and wrong, because it's very flexible depending on the situation. For me. Like, very flexible. But
yeah, taking someone's life is a thing that's like, it's called murder in one sense, it's called defense in another. Like,
right. And I don't differentiate the two a whole lot. I mean, there are, like, intent matters for sure, and as far as that goes, but
sure. But you definitely differentiate the two, because one you would call murder and the other you would call punishment.
No, it's still murder, but it's just, it's murder with purpose.
All right, fine. So self-defense, someone breaks in your house and you kill them.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
that's fine. Tangentially related. If one of your kids killed somebody, would you help them stay out of trouble, hide the body, whatever?
Depends on the reason they killed somebody.
Somebody said something mean to them.
No, fuck them. They can deal with
turning them in.
Yeah, probably.
You would, if they came to you and said, "I lost my shit on this person because whatever." Yeah, we were mouthing, this person punched me, and then I just went off and killed them.
Nope, you got to fucking. There's consequences to pay, bitch.
But is there consequences to pay if you don't get caught?
Well, there's still, maybe not for you, but I mean, your actions still have consequences on the other person. Somebody lost a kid or a fucking brother or whatever. And to me, that goes down. That's where that inflated sense of justice comes in. It's like, no, you fucking did something. You fucking own the consequences. You fucking go and tell that person's family that you fucking killed them and tell them why.
Yeah, but I feel like to a little bit, you're taking some of the consequence away, because now they don't have the consequence of trying to figure out how to not get busted for this.
Yeah, I guess so. But
they're not living with that daily, just sweating bullets and wondering if.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, I might have call cops, but I'm not going to help them with that shit. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. Now, if they're like, one of them, like, somebody assaults my daughter and they fucking kill her, so yeah, I'll help you bury that shit. Again, intent.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I think at least most of the adults that we know would do that.
But see, I also go back to the fact, and this is for me and how my brain would work, is your legal ramifications, the shit that's going to, like, there's a chance you could get away with it, but it's fucking slim.
Oh, it is slim.
It's fucking slim. And if you fess up and own up, the amount of punishment and discomfort and whatever that you're going to go through is much, much less than if you run and get caught.
How do you feel about kids being tried as adults?
Depends on the crime, depends on the age of the kid.
I don't think it depends at all.
Really?
Not at all. If you are 12 years old, you get tried as a 12-year-old, not an 18-year-old.
Okay.
Because the law will call that a child sometimes, and when convenient, call it an adult.
Well, right.
It's got to be one or the other.
No, exactly. I agree with that 100%.
You're either gonna. All right, let's bump it up a little bit. What's the age of consent in Tennessee?
18.
Whew. No, I'm just kidding. No, so the age of consent is 18, because I thought it was 16.
I think it's 18.
All right, so the age of 18 and 16 though is not statutory rape, because I think it's got to be 3 years
16.
difference.
Yeah.
So let's just bump it down to 15.
Okay.
15-year-old chooses to have sex with a 19-year-old. Statutory rape.
Right.
That's a child. That same 15-year-old walks into the school the next day and shoots up the place. We're going to try them as an adult.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I am completely against that.
100%.
So at what point does the crime determine whether you charge them as an adult or not?
Like, okay, you catch a fucking 13-year-old with a joint, right?
Sure.
Not going to throw them in jail for 15 fucking years and give them a felony.
I agree.
Fucking 12.
I agree.
Right. But whereas opposed to if a 12-year-old shoots up a fucking school, yeah, fucking whatever. They're very different crimes. That's my point.
They are very different crimes, but it's still a child.
At 12, yeah. At 16, nah.
Yeah, but if you're going to call them a child in one situation, you have to call them a child.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to have a hard line, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like my thing would be at 15 and up, try them like an adult. Under that, fucking.
But at 15 and up, that means a 15-year-old can sleep with a 40-year-old. If you're going to try them as an adult for killing, then that 15-year-old has to be able to make that decision on their own.
You set where the age of consent is.
Ooh, man, I don't like 15 as the age of consent.
I don't either, but I'm just saying if you're talking about...
That's why I just draw the line where the government calls you an adult at 18.
Yeah.
You're not old enough to go and die for your country at 16. So,
but I guess I understand that for sure. And I agree with that theoretically. I guess where it would come in, like thinking about it, it's kind of where this double standards with like abortion and shit too. It's like, you want to, whatever. Sure. As far as somebody saying, well, like abortion's not murder, but if you fucking kill a pregnant woman, it's a double homicide.
Speaking of, I think I got to go to Texas in a few weeks.
Yeah. But again, but there's also a big difference between like, if you're a 16-year-old kid and you go fucking murder somebody, and you get tried as an adult, is a whole lot different for the most part than like a 10-year-old going and fucking murdering somebody, right? As far as the understanding
there's
of the
a difference for sure. I get that. I just think if you're going to call them a child in one scenario, you have to call them a child in the other.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's my thing.
But I guess then like my thought would be is then you up the punishment based on being a child, because if you're going to be tried as a child and you kill somebody at 16 and you still should be able to fucking die for that shit, depending on the malicious. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, 16-year-old.
Again, that's a case by case, but you are old enough to know, but you are also a victim of your circumstances. You can be pushed into something. I mean, that's the age-old argument of nature versus nurture,
right?
Type of thing. And I don't know what the answer is. What's more powerful, nature or nurture? I don't know.
They're fairly equal, I think. I would say nurture is probably more powerful in the formative years, but then
it can be, I think.
But I also think that nature and nurture can also be one and the same to a point.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason I say this is you're still a product of genetics and brain chemistry and all that stuff, which is
that's nature, though.
Yeah, that is nature. I had a way to tie it in my head, and I can't remember what the fuck it is, but regardless.
I got you.
Maybe they're closely related in a lot of instances. Might be the.
I think they can be. I don't know for sure. My wife has great thoughts on nature and nurture.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but I do feel like that the nature versus nurture a lot of time is used as an excuse for shit behavior as an adult. And that's I don't buy that bullshit at all.
You don't think once you're an adult, nature and nurture plays into it at all?
No, it does. But if you're old enough to recognize it, you're old enough to change it. And it's
for sure. If you're sitting on the stand saying that, and it hasn't been pulled out of you.
My point being at the point of at any age.
Yes.
When you can say, well, I'm like this because my parents did blah, blah, blah. At that point, it becomes your responsibility because you're aware of it.
Yep. As soon as you become aware of it, the ball's in your court.
Yep. Then it might be hard to break the habits, and that doesn't mean you're not fighting against the nurture, but you are at that point can change it. Like if you're a 40-year-old man and you're still blaming your problems on your childhood, you got fucking bigger issues that you need to fucking deal with.
Yeah, that's why we have clergy.
Right? Yeah.
No, I think I've been saying for a long time, once you
are
aware of a problem, it's your responsibility at that point.
Yeah.
But I'm a big proponent of, if you don't so until I was into my probably early to mid 30s, my dad and I didn't have a great relationship.
Right.
I wouldn't say we had a bad relationship, but not a great relationship.
Right.
I didn't know exactly I didn't have anyone model what being a good dad was.
Right.
That's the best way for me to put it. And so I just adopted something in my early to mid 20s, which maybe that was too late. I don't know, but it was like, act like you think a good dad would act.
Yeah.
And eventually you will just be doing that naturally, but yes, act like you think someone would act.
Yeah, see, I've always had a little issue because my thought, honestly, with a lot of that shit.
Fake it till you make it. You don't like that?
No, I'm fine with fake it till you make it. But I think people overthink being a good parent nowadays in our society. And I'm not talking about just like right now. I mean, over the course of the last fucking 50 years.
Sure.
Because there's a way to be a shitty parent. Absolutely. But in general, right, if you care about the person you're with and you care about the child, just do. And it's
Sure,
but we start taking into
plenty
account
of people
psychology and all this other shit
that have shitty upbringings don't know what to do.
right.
For some people,
It's normal.
Shitty
is normal. Right.
Yeah, they say once you have a kid, it'll just they say that for mothers that it just kicks in.
It doesn't.
In general, but it doesn't do that for everyone.
Yeah. Well, but that's where that whole like changing your mind says no. Again, it's different. Again, there's circumstances, right? But I mean, because if you're 18, fucking 19, it's a different ball game because you're just fucking basically a kid still yourself. It's maturity level and all that shit, comparatively speaking.
Sure.
But I don't know. I have a hard time. Like, I get people make mistakes and I get that people are raised in shitty situations, but there are some things that to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but at common sense, at like a normal age person having a kid, we'll say in their early 20s. Well, I say normal, like, there's no normal, but we'll just say early 20s. Like at that point, you're kind of old enough to realize that this is going to fuck this kid up, or this is not going to fuck this kid up. It's because some of it's common sense, you would think. And again, maybe this is where I'm wrong, but anyway.
I would
think that, hey, putting Mountain Dew in my fucking 6-month-old's bottle is probably a bad idea, but people fucking do it.
Sure.
What you got?
Nothing. I noticed it was down, so I wanted that way I would hear it if it rang. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. But again, I'm so conflicted and hypocritical on half of this stuff because I think one thing I'm like, oh, but you know what, this makes sense over here too. Well, but what about this? That's fucking. So there's so much stuff that's circumstantial, and really the best thing to do is just fucking kill everyone and start over. But
so let's take a break.
Yep.
Hour in. Let's take a break. I'm gonna go tell my wife good night.
Oh,
and then I've got a couple of little articles to discuss with you, news articles. And then I actually have a question that I want to get to quickly.
Okay.
That who knows how it'll go. I think of things sometimes like, ooh, I'm going to ask him this because this will be a good conversation starter.
Right.
And then I ask you and you're like, fuck, I don't fucking care. I'm like, God damn
it. All right. We'll be back.
You're so unpredictable.
Right. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I hit record. I pulled shit off the screen.
I know.
I'm doing good today. Hey, we've got 2 people that just popped on. Fuck yeah.
How about that? Hey, if you're watching, unless you're related, no, unless you're Steven's wife, let us know because I almost always expect that one of those people is a man.
Not usually.
Is it not?
She doesn't watch. Occasionally, like she'll do me the favor of she'll pop on and make sure everything looks and sounds okay, and she'll text me. But that's it. She's got other shit to do.
Well, if you're watching, let us know. And if you got a comment on something we're talking about, God, please call.
And if you want to make fun of me and how fucking fat I've gotten, Jesus Christ, you know, I'll bring that mockery in too. Was it? She was like, oh, Steve got thick.
Yeah.
I mean, also I have shitty posture, but I have gotten fat as fuck. Like I'm up, dude, like to 220 right now, 225. Yeah,
I got up there, but I don't know that I ever got to 220, but I'm back eating right.
Yeah. That's like I said, I told Amanda last week, I was like, listen, I was like, I can't, I'm not going to have the self-control to do this shit. It's like, will you help me? She was like, yeah, I'll quit buying junk food that you like. And I was like, thank you. Because she cooks healthy. Like when she cooks, like she makes healthy shit, but it's all the stuff in between. But I also have the problem because I was doing the intermittent fasting and shit, which was fine, which works pretty well for me. But I got in the habit of I won't eat all day at work, and then I'll eat a whole day's worth of food basically in like 4 hours, which is the worst fucking thing. Instead of just eating like a little bit, like I'll get home at 6, 7 o'clock and I'll eat until 11, like just fucking constantly eating some shit. Yeah. Cause I'm hungry as fuck. But I know it's terrible for me, but Jesus, it's so good.
I got into a habit over the last like 3 or 4 weeks of making a strawberry milkshake every night. Every night.
See, mine's cereal before bed.
Right. And the way I look at it is a bowl of cereal, strawberry milkshake. It's probably about the same
amount of sugar. Yeah. Especially cause like I love cornflakes. But I just like plain cornflakes, but I put so much fucking sugar on the cornflakes.
Wait a minute. You said plain cornflakes.
Yeah.
So not frosted flakes.
No.
Oh, okay.
Plain cornflakes, but I probably put more sugar on them than I would get if I.
Now, you a white sugar or brown sugar?
Oh, fuck brown sugar. Like I like the sugar in the roll, like the unprocessed, whatever. It's better.
Still
it tastes better. It is, but I'm just saying it's what
I prefer.
Pure cane sugar, I guess.
I prefer, depending on what I'm eating, brown sugar.
Brown sugar and oatmeal.
Yes. I like brown sugar on a piece of buttered toast. It's great.
Okay.
But some cereals, like Cheerios that aren't like the Honey Nut Cheerios, but like a Cheerios, brown sugar is pretty good in that. But if I eat, like I have gotten Raisin Bran before.
Yeah.
And I put powdered sugar, like confectioner sugar, in because it melts into the milk.
Yeah. See, I don't sweeten like Raisin Bran and shit like that. Like, it doesn't need it for me. Like, I'm fine with.
Oh, see, I don't get like the frosted Raisin Bran or whatever.
No, you know what I can eat
sweet
the
thing is
fuck out
raisins.
of without sugar on it is grape nuts. I love the shit out of that, but it's so fucking expensive.
Yeah,
but I let it get soggy. But I let it get soggy as fuck.
See, I don't like
fuck
it. Yeah, the only thing I like to get somewhat soggy is Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch.
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles.
I don't want them soggy, but I want it just.
I don't want it to tear my mouth up. I'll let that turn to mush.
No,
and then eat it. Fuck yeah.
No way.
Fuck yeah,
I do not like that.
So if you were here earlier, like we're gonna get a little lighter because we got super dark into like some child molesting and shit. But
we did. Yeah, and we need,
which I will not apologize for.
We need help from listeners of topics, news stories you want to send us or whatever. Just the lighthearted stuff.
Family stories. We would love to make fun of your family.
Right.
Life advice.
Yeah. So anyway, if there are any listeners in Nashville, I'm jonesing for some Top Golf, and I got to go to Nashville this Sunday. And both of my brother-in-law and my brother can't do Top Golf this Saturday, this Sunday.
I thought you meant they can't do Top Golf in general. I was like,
they just can't do it this Sunday. Yeah. And I thought about reaching out to Troy and Jack.
Yeah,
but
I like Top Golf.
I love Top Golf.
It's expensive as fuck, but it's fun.
Dude, I played a golf simulator a few weekends ago, and it's like a $20,000 golf simulator that this brewery has in Nolensville, and you can play golf courses on it, but you can also just do like the games, like long drive and stuff like that. And that shit is so fun.
Yeah, it's weird though because I don't like I can't watch golf. I really don't like it.
Watch golf.
Like I really don't enjoy. I've only been a couple times, granted, like once or twice actually out playing a game of golf. Don't really enjoy that much. But I fucking Top Golf and driving range is fun.
Who did you go with?
My dad and one of his friends when I was younger.
No. You and I need to go do a par 3 course. So they're shorter holes. Shorter course.
I'd be so bad, but
yeah. But I'm saying you go out there and you drink and you smoke cigars and you hit golf balls.
Can you smoke cigarettes? Because fuck cigars.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah. But whatever. You smoke pipe.
Pot.
A woman Friday night asked me if I've had a weed pipe.
Yeah.
So she said, "Hey, do you have a weed pipe?" Like, I don't. It's like, don't worry. Like, I don't go out much. I'm old. You have a weed pipe. Like, still don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't smoke.
Yeah,
sorry.
Any pipe would work for the purpose.
It would, but I didn't have a single pipe.
Right.
Like, go find an apple. Like, whatever. There's a convenience store right across the street.
You're fine. You can make it. Where there's a will, there's a way.
My brother used to have a screwdriver that he made into a pot pipe. Yeah. So anyway,
so you said you have a question.
Well, no, I actually got a couple of news stories first.
Oh, we don't have the news thing on here anymore. Nope.
Look at you.
Not on there anymore.
I can't believe that. Are you kidding me? No, you're right. I can. Oh, I'm not connected. Never mind. I have it here, but I wasn't connected.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. News.
What you got?
So
I saw a story today I was going to bring in too, and I completely forgot.
Just to tie back into the Chappelle thing.
Yeah.
Netflix, there was a memo that went out, an internal memo went out that told managers some talent may join third parties in calling for the show's removal, adding, which we are not going to do. Not going to remove Chappelle Special.
Right.
What they're saying. The company also responded that the company responded to news reports it had suspended 3 employees, including one, Tara Field, who'd criticized Chappelle Special in tweets. Field identifies herself on Twitter as a senior software engineer at Netflix and as trans. The Netflix's response was, "It is absolutely untrue to say that we have suspended any employees for tweeting about this show. Our employees are encouraged to disagree openly, and we support their right to do so."
Yep.
But Netflix also said, we don't feel like he crossed the line on hate speech or anything.
Good for them.
He also makes them a shit ton of money. Now, granted, this was his last special for them. And according to what he said in the special, this will be my last special for a while.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, he has released specials relentlessly for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like we said earlier, man, that people are going to be people. They're going to get pissed about shit no matter what. Like anybody, for the most part, the average person has buttons. We're just in a place that everybody has a fucking voice. Because I guarantee the people that are crying about it, they're the loudest, are still the minority of people. Because almost everybody that I've talked to that's seen it loved it. And granted, that's purely anecdotal in my small little fucking circle.
Yeah.
But still, like if most people, and I think we've talked about this before, even politically speaking, most people are pretty moderate, really. Like, they have some inkling of common sense. It's just we get people that buy into the whatever.
It's the loud groups you hear are the far right,
and then the stupid people fall in line with whatever side's resonating.
The weird thing is that the far left has more pull in society than the far right does, because a lot of them work in tech and Silicon Valley type stuff, so they have a lot of pull in Facebook. And
what do you think that is?
Stuff like that.
Without getting too deep into it, like, why do you feel like that?
I think college is pushed more in left-leaning families than in right-leaning families. And college has become a shit show over the last several years. Used to be a place where you went to hear differing opinions and be around people that have different views. And now it's become a place where you go to hear nothing but the things you agree with.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think that the reason that society tends to get more and more left-leaning with a lot of shit is I feel like a lot is because a lot of it, or the bulk of it, is directed towards your feelings, like what makes you feel good, what makes you feel better, like being included, whatever. Even the people that are so involved in it don't realize the detriment some of it causes, right?
Yes.
Because they're getting fed, well, this is inclusive and I don't like feeling bad, so I don't want you to feel bad. But that's not life.
You grow up in bubble wrap your whole life. You don't know how to handle the first time your boss says you fucked up.
Well, it's the same way here in the South, at least with like my family, shit like that. People are so like still believe that Joe Biden stole that fucking election. It's because they're so entrenched in that shit, and it's insane.
There's a game that you and I both play on our phone, Golf Clash.
Yeah, I haven't played it in weeks. So I got kicked out of my clan because I haven't.
Did you?
But continue.
Well, regardless, one of the guys in the quote clan, which I don't like that term,
clan with the C,
just posted in the clan chat the other day, "Fuck Joe Biden."
Yeah,
and my immediate thought, which I posted, was, Christ, do we have to wear our politics on our goddamn sleeve all the time? Or do we have to politics on our sleeve all the goddamn time?
Right.
In which somebody else said, yes, please. None of that here. Like, I'm not opposed. I'm not one of those people that says none of that here, but it's like, I see people that their name is like, Joe Biden rules, or but that's not it. That's too dumb for Biden people, but like MAGA 2020 or MAGA 2024, or Trump will rise again and shit. Like, I'm like, is it really got to that point that we, in all of, in every aspect of our life, politics has to come into play, and that's just insane.
Well, it becomes a yelling competition, though, because you got the left yelling this loud and the right yelling this loud, and one person has to yell louder and louder and louder and louder, and they're both insufferable fucking cunts. Like,
a lot of times, yes.
I will say,
especially the extremes of both.
That's what I was gonna say. The loudest people on both sides are the biggest fucking cunts in the world. Fuck all of them. For
sure.
Yeah.
It's, well, I mean, somebody said a couple years ago, but it was a celebrity. And it's like, I want to be so far left that it's right before you turn back right. Like, that's exactly what you are.
Yeah.
You're both are yelling about the same things. You just like a slightly different approach to those it's like I said,
one side, and this is why they're the same. One side gets offended when you hurt their perspective of what religion and godliness and right and wrong should be. It's still feelings, but it's the feelings that are justified in their religious belief. The other side is just their feelings based on their emotions, but it's the same fucking offense, just interpreted differently.
Sure. I have started to notice, though, a lot more atheists and people that aren't really thumping Bibles popping up on the semi-far right lately over the last few years. And I think a lot of them are, though, it's more along the free speech lines.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny. Like, I was talking to my sister a little bit, and I try to keep shit because it's pointless to talk too much. But I don't understand like that. I can have a conversation with anybody about anything, and I don't get fucking like upset about it. But when you haven't had any friends or any experience outside of a certain area, then you're fucking stupid. Like, a lot of the far left have never like hung out and spent a day with some backwoods redneck motherfucker.
Sure.
Right. And just like most far right Christian Trump guys have never spent a day hanging out with like a gay black guy.
Do you notice, though, that the backwoods redneck people a lot of times are pretty open to people? The backwoods redneck people are pretty open to people.
Yeah.
They're more along the lines of, it's the rich people, they don't quite get it.
Right. It's more classism than
it's more class. It's not so much it doesn't so much have to do with race and more class.
Yeah, but what I mean is exactly most of the people that are hyper in that bubble have never had much actual interaction with the people that they hate. Like, I can tell you right now, like, my dad's known a few, gay people that he's worked with, but he's never sat down and had dinner and hung out with a gay dude. Because I don't want to with that, or that whole thing.
Don't want to catch the gay,
right? Well, or having that whole mindset of, well, we don't want to let like people of the world, like that type of people, into our home type of thing.
The thing about it is, someone like your dad is he is.
My dad's very accepting for that shit. Like,
Yeah,
I have a problem with
no,
it.
for sure. But he will say inappropriate things in an attempt to be funny and break the ice.
Well,
kind
but
of
some
thing.
of those
But
feelings are there just because of where he grew up. He's more
for
open
sure.
than like my mom.
It's bred into him, or not bred. It's ingrained into him. It's not what he chose,
right? But it comes down to like, okay, if I'm
it's
having
nurture,
right? If I'm having a lesbian couple or a trans person to my house for dinner, like say my mom would be, it would be for the intent of trying to share the gospel. She might not preach at them, but it's to show God's love. But the whole time she's sitting there thinking, this person's a fucking abomination right here. You know, that's the type of shit that is.
Sure.
But most of them haven't gone out. Like you and I, at least with me, just not military, but traveling around and shit. Like I've hung out with so many different kinds of people. And when you get out of that bubble, you realize, oh, these people don't want to fucking like, you know, fucking start worshiping Satan and fucking, you know, take over the world. Like they're fucking normal people. They just have a different, like, because I remember for me growing up, especially in the church, I've been more open-minded even when I was younger than some. I was still super zealous as a young kid because you buy the shit that you're fed.
Yeah, for sure.
I still remember the first time I hung out with like a full-blown, like they called her, well, you knew Becca. She was like one of my first friends. And she was, and I say hardcore lesbian in the sense of like her pride and joy is the fact that like she tried to only date straight girls. Like that's her thing. Because her friends called her the converter. Like that's what she did. And she was fucking good at it. She was a great wing person. But but still, like before then I was still like, I met her and I was like, oh, I didn't have a problem with her. But I still had my own preconceived notions about gay people and their lifestyle and all this shit that my whole thing was, it's, if they want to do it, that's fine. I just don't think it's, you know, it's not the way God would want it, but you know, it's teach their own type of deal. But then I was like, these are better people than half the people I went to fucking church with. Like these are like the nicest and most caring, because a lot of them have legitimately been through some shit because of their lifestyle or you know, whatever the case may be, especially growing up in the South. You know, like Becca was from Georgia, like deep South Georgia, and then just realizing that, oh, they're not like wanting to convert me to like any gay dude I've hung out with has never been like, hey, you want to try sucking my dick? You might like it. Like not once. I've been hit on, and you know, and I'll fucking hang out and whatever. I've
known a couple of gay guys that like try to talk you into it.
Yeah, they might, but
they try to spin it as like, well, how do you know?
Right. Yeah. And I always say, well, I've come in my own mouth and I didn't like it. So but I've never been a dude that's like, very few are like aggressively like they want to make you gay. They're just people and they want to hang out and
they want to make your kids gay.
Want to make kids gay. Yeah, right. They want to molest my kids in the bathroom.
Well, that's not what I think. I was meaning at all.
I know. But anyway, but again, I've been guilty of it to some degree until I got out and experienced outside of the bubble that I grew up in, you know, and then you do, and you're like, oh, okay, fucking people are fucking people. And most of the atheists and shit that I've met are way nicer than most of the fucking like Christian guys I grew up with.
It's yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. We could talk about this forever. Grieving man uses AI site to chat with his dead girlfriend. Have you heard about this?
No, that's amazing.
As far as everything I've read about it, it's
sexting?
not. No.
Oh, boo.
A grieving Canadian man. So this is from the New York Post. Yeah. A grieving Canadian man used pioneering AI software to have lifelike online chats with his girlfriend 8 years after she died.
Oh my God. How sad is that?
Joshua Barbeau, 33, told the San Francisco Chronicle how he paid just $5 to use a beta test of GPT-3, an AI software first developed by a research group co-founded by Elon Musk.
Okay.
Still overwhelmed by grieving after losing 23-year-old girlfriend Jessica Pereira in 2012, Barbeau said he used her old text messages and Facebook posts to help the chat bot mimic his late lover's writing voice.
Okay.
Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah.
Dude, that's so pathetic.
In scenes,
there's so much judgment in my heart right now.
In scenes from the episode of Black Mirror or the movie Her, Barbeau broke down in tears during a 10-hour all-night chat in September that at times eerily mimicked the woman he had lost to liver disease. Of course it is me, the chatbot he named after Pereira told him at the start of their talk. According to transcripts, the freelance Dungeons and Dragons writer from Bradford, Ontario, gave the California newspaper.
That explains a lot.
Who else could it be? I am the girl you are madly in love with. How is it possible that you even have to ask? She wrote. You died, he replied, just for the chatbot to reply, that doesn't sound right. How can you talk to dead people? Intellectually, I know it's not really her, he told the Chronicle. of the chat, but your emotions are not an intellectual thing. Let's see here. Since her death, he had only been in one serious relationship with a woman telling him after she dumped him that living in Jessica's shadow was like torture.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
He even recalled the breakup to his chatbot girlfriend.
Oh my God.
The chatbot said she should have tried harder to fight for you. You are worth it. You are so sexy. You deserve a girl who loves you and treats you right always. In another exchange, she told him, I love you. You deserve happiness. I will be here waiting for you. This is pushing him towards suicide. Let's see here. There's something else.
His computer crashes and he fucking hangs himself.
I mean, the possibilities of using this in my own life, I'm crying thinking about it. He wrote, kind of feels like it's the first machine with a soul.
I don't even care at this point. That's just fucking pathetic. I mean, I get the guy's grieving, right? But at some point, as a grown human being, you've got to move the fuck on. Like, I would understand
8 years later.
Like, I would understand more. I still think it's dumb. I would understand more if it was like a wife of 30 years or like a child that died.
Well, that's what I was fixing to say is like, I've been married to my wife. This December will be 22 years.
Yeah.
And we dated for 3 years, 2.5 years prior to that.
Yeah.
So come this March will be 25 years we've been together.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that in 8 years, if she were to die, that 8 years later, I would be chatting with her like that.
Well, it's one of those things to me, being married that long, right? At that point, you're either like, okay, I'm done. I'm just single. Like I never meet another woman like her, and I'm not going to do good. But because when you try to get in a relationship, you're going to fuck that person over if you never let the person go.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's
we had a question thing come up one time about a second wife had died. Second wife was so jealous of the photos of the wife or whatever.
And that was unreasonable, in my opinion, to have a couple photos. But
sure.
But still, the thing is with this, it's not healthy. Like grief is one thing, like that's a normal human thing to go through.
It's one of the 7 stages.
But the longer you fucking wallow in that, like you're never going to be emotionally stable if you stay in that fucking mindset.
So one of the girl's sisters, one of her sisters, Amanda, also warned that such chatbots could bring extra heartache for the grieving. People who are in a state of grief can be fragile and vulnerable. What happens if the AI isn't accessible anymore? Will you have to deal with grief of your loved one all over again?
It also, dude, it's just a matter of time for that shit's infiltrated by like advertising and they start using that fucking grief to sell people shit.
Yeah. That's
it's sad. It's pathetic. I mean, yeah, like fuck that. That's so stupid. And I get it's hard like losing somebody. I don't get it, but I mean, I get that people like conceptually, I've seen it. I understand it's hard to lose somebody, but yeah, fuck, man.
Well, another article from the New York Post.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm interested to see how I react when my parents die. No, I am. Because like death has never bothered me, like ever. Like sure. And I've had close family, I've had friends.
I think it depends on the age they die and why they die. For you, it will depend on it because you're very cut and dry about old people die. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And sick people die, and that's what they do.
And my dad's really sick.
Exactly.
And my grandmother's gotten sick.
Yes.
But I mean,
so your grandmother's double whammy, sick and old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, but even so, like, I don't know. I just think just how my mind goes, because I don't look at death of any kind as a tragedy unless it's like a horrific accident, right? Like
sure.
A kid 6 years old playing in his yard, a fucking car swerves off into the yard and fucking kills him. That's a fucking tragedy.
It is,
you know, that type of thing. But like, you know, you're a freak accident happening, like, you know, your mom's perfectly healthy, like cleaning out a gutter and falls off the ladder and dies just because she slips.
Just happened in my family recently.
Yeah, that's not a tragedy. I mean, it sucks, but it's not a tragedy.
Why do you not think that?
Because it's not. I guess for me, a tragedy involves like somebody's having something taken from them, but lastly their life. I hate the term taken from them, but like by another person's like irresponsibility or neglect, right? Like if somebody had walked by, not paid attention and fucking knocked the person off the ladder, a little more of a tragedy. But if you're just up cleaning on an extension ladder and you place it badly and it falls and you die, well, that's, you know, it happens.
Yeah, I still think when
Like,
someone
one's an
young
accident,
dies out of something that's not normal, it's tragic, at least for the family.
Well, I got to yeah, for the family, yeah. But I just mean as far as a death goes.
Yeah.
But like I remember I got told I was fucking a horrible person in Fayetteville. Some kid that I grew up with, I don't remember him, had a motorcycle, was flying on a back road and was like trying to pop a wheelie at like 80, got a speed wobble, hit a mailbox and fucking died. He was like fucking 19. Everybody's like, oh, it's such a tragedy. He was so young. I was like, no, he's fucking stupid. Like, that's why he died. That's not a tragedy. That's
I don't know that but that's normal for a 19-year-old. I'm not saying it's a tragedy. I'm just saying I don't know that I would throw it under the guise of stupid. That's a normal thing for a 19-year-old.
Popping a wheelie at 90 miles an hour is not a normal thing for a 19-year-old.
It is. Like, I know a lot of people that aren't 19 that do that shit.
Right. But then they're still stupid.
Yeah. I just think it's normal, I guess. And it doesn't make it not stupid. I guess I think it's more, it's just.
Yeah. But normal or not, but it's still.
Yeah, I think you give a 19-year-old a bike, regardless of speed, they're going to do some crazy shit.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the thing. And so I'm not saying it is a tragedy or not. Right. I think, it's normal.
Yeah.
But
still, like, I guess I don't view accidents as tragedies. Like, as far as like solo involved accidents at all. Anyway,
San Francisco will pay would-be criminals to not shoot people.
Okay.
San Francisco will soon pay some potential criminals $300 a month to not shoot people. The city's Dream Keeper Fellowship will give monthly gift cards to 10 people deemed to be high risk of gun crime if they refrain from taking part in the city's alarming surge in shootings.
That's insanity.
As well as $300 for staying out of trouble, those in the pilot program can make an extra $200 if they meet other benchmarks, such as attending parole appointments and finding a job. The pilot, which starts in October and plans to expand to around 75 people a year, is part of the mayor's 2-year initiative to invest $120 million in the city's Black community. It will be funded with taxpayers' money as well as private donations and a possible federal grant.
Okay.
The program was inspired by one running. The program was inspired by one running in neighboring Richmond, California, in 2016. That studies have said reduced gun crime by up to 70%. But it had also faced serious controversy, with a 22-year-old member getting sentenced 40 years to life after admitting murdering 2 people, including a 17-year-old boy, in 2 separate shootings while in the program.
Okay.
A grieving mother of one of his victims blamed the program organizers for her 29-year-old son for his death. You didn't take their guns. You were giving them money to buy more guns.
Okay.
Let's see.
Sure.
Here. There are things we don't want to repeat. The director of the San Francisco Human Rights Commission. There are things we don't want to repeat, she stressed, about elaborating on how they could avoid a repeat scandal. Meanwhile, Reverend Eugene Rivers III, a founder of the Seymour Institute for Black Church and Policy Studies, ripped San Francisco's decision to implement the Offbeat program as a policy gimmick that is a terrible idea. You don't get young people, for real, to turn from crime by generating gimmicks, he told Fox and Friends.
Okay.
Anyway, for many young people, it will be Christmas in October, he said.
Interesting.
Saying those involved will make it a lucrative hustle and will not reduce crime.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Whatever.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. They're paying people to not commit crime.
Which, okay, before we get that, I had one. I'm not going to read the whole article.
Sure.
I don't know if you saw the headline. I thought this was amazing. Actually, I laughed and laughed and laughed. That 5 dead and 2 injured in random bow and arrow attack in Norway. Did you read this?
No.
Some dude killed a bunch of people with a fucking bow and arrow in Norway.
You take away guns. That's the way you keep people from killing people.
5 people. 5 people. That's intense, dude. That's some Hawkeye. That's some Hawkeye shit.
That's some Rambo shit.
Yeah. 5 people killed, 2 others injured in apparent random attack in Kongsberg, Norway, late Wednesday, and a man roamed the city shooting people with a bow and arrow. So it wasn't all in one spot. He was roaming around full on fucking target people.
Just hunting people.
That's insane. That's some fucking comic book shit, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found it to be funnier than I should have.
That's it,
because I pictured a Norwegian guy, man, just running around in like fucking cold ass winter clothes.
Bergen.
Yeah, right. And fucking honing in. Yeah.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing I think of, the Swedish chef.
Yeah.
And then an arrow just nailing somebody.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh,
but
fucking commie
not just
countries.
that. Like, I don't know how far away that he was when he shot the people. I didn't go read in that much detail, but like, that has to be something. Like, you see a dude down the street. Like, if you're notice, like, even at a distance, you see some dude on the street drawing back a bow, I'm moving the fuck out of the way.
What kind of camo do you have to keep from being seen in the neighborhood?
Right. Maybe he was full Oscar the Grouching that shit, like getting
Could have
dumpsters
been.
and popping up.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Fucking Sesame Street.
Right.
Creating criminals. Jesus.
Yeah, I just imagine though, like was it close range? Because then that's even crazier.
Yeah.
But
oh God.
Or he's like getting on, I don't know. I want to know more, but I don't want to take the time to read it. All right. You said
one more lighthearted article.
Okay.
Before I ask you the question.
Okay.
So this is from boardpanda.com.
Okay.
30 times male authors showed they barely know anything about women.
Okay. I hate these lists so much. Are we going to do all 30?
Probably not.
Good.
Who knew ladies were like, number one, who knew ladies were like Capri Suns? I don't know who wrote this, but he slipped her panties off and slid his fingers down her clit. Now, he slipped your panties off and slid his fingers down your clit, but to his surprise, no opening could be found. He now knew that you were untouched, unbroken. He smirked deviously upon finding out that you were a virgin. You could tell his mind was exploring all the different things he could do to you.
Oh my God, that's amazing. There's just a smooth hole until you pop the fucking straw in.
That's how it is. It's like a Barbie doll.
It's like, oh, there's a slit. Oh, there's
like
the
a
clit.
Barbie doll with a button.
There's the clit. Oh, yeah, that's fucking insane.
It's
like you'd at least find a urethra. Jesus Christ.
Dude, somebody said this motherfucker really think we got a tamper evidence seal.
Dude, okay, what along those lines, there are grown-ass people that don't know ladies have fucking 2 holes. That blows my mind. There are women that they don't know they grow, like, that's
3 if you count the ass.
Oh yeah, but that's one thing that, like, where the hyper Christian conservative people, like the people that grew up in church, they've had no sex education, and they produce some of the stupidest people.
What age do you think people should go through sex education?
Oh, like fucking 11 or 12.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Younger if it's like age appropriate, right?
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like by fucking 12 anyway, you should have a full concept of at least the basics.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like with my kids, I do, I joke with them. I have a sex 101 and the sex 102. The 101 is when they're younger, like the basic birds and the bees. And when you're getting 16, 17, then you get the fucking part 2.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see
fucking
here.
Pound that front butt, baby.
Number 2. Oh, how the turntables. Confident in my ability to properly tennis, I take the court. I smile at my opponent. Serena does not return the gesture.
What?
She'd be prettier if she did, I think. She serves. The ball passes cleanly through my skull, killing me instantly.
What?
I have no clue.
All right. Unless that was supposed to be a big euphemism.
I don't know.
Jesus. Okay.
Number 3, 110 pounds soaking wet with a heavy chest and an ass that would get any man's attention.
Okay.
Just read a description of a woman who's 110 pounds soaking wet with a heavy chest and an ass that would get any man's attention.
Okay.
I'm trying to picture this woman, but every image I can think of is a cartoon.
Right. Or a little person.
Yeah.
With a normal head.
Yeah. Number 4, Monster Hunter Memoirs. Grunge by Larry Correa and Johnny Ringo. Narrow hips. Anyway. She was the perfect picture of a beautiful Japanese girl. Small feet, small nose, wide eyes, narrow hips that showed she was a virgin. Yes, because everyone knows having sex changes your bone structure.
Yeah, it did mine. I was skinny until I had
Changed
sex.
my boner structure.
Yeah, so I was skinny until I had sex for the first time, and now now look at me.
Every time you have sex, you gain 5 pounds.
Right.
That's why I'm losing weight. Number 5, should have put this up sooner. You know, as an erotic editor, I've read many euphemisms for female genitalia over the years, but somehow I've managed to go nearly a decade without ever once reading the phrase "her throbbing jazz cafe" until now. For context, it's a romance where 2 musicians fall in love, and it's very sweet and good, but the phrase just jumped out at me and I've been cry laughing for a solid minute.
That's going to the repertoire right there.
So someone tweeted, a throbbing jazz cafe sounds like a busy place where you probably have to wait ages for your coffee while listening to someone doing terrible amateur scat.
Yes. Scat is right.
I'm losing my mind. Number 6, I'm losing my mind at this passage. When she'd stopped, good God, this just starts out bad. When she'd stopped crying, Madeline composed herself before the mirror. Her skin looked blotchy. Her breasts, of which she was normally proud, had withdrawn into themselves, like they're nuts, like they're balls.
Yeah.
Had drawn into themselves as if depressed. Madeline knew that this self-appraisal might not be accurate.
Wow. I was talking about some nipple inversion there. That's what I would take that as. Yeah, fucking stupid.
Vintage Wonder Woman is something else. So this is from a comic. So I guess this is the narrative. When at last the yacht stops off Norfolk, Wonder Woman contracts her powerful facial muscles and opens her mouth, tearing the adhesive tape from her lips. Wonder Woman says, "This makes it easier to breathe. Now to open my eyes if I can." The narrative, Wonder Woman's eyelid muscles loosen the tape, but also her eyelashes. She says, my feminine vanity won't let me pull out my eyelashes. I'll have to escape blindfolded.
That does not sound inaccurate. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm saying, like, most of the women I've known in my life, if given the option of having to do some shit blindfolded or tear out their eyelashes, they're going blindfolded, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Just saying.
Number 8.
Women and eyelashes are a fucking thing.
No, for sure. Number 8, not a description per se, but I feel like it definitely has the spirit of this sub. Does Steven Spielberg know how last names work? Let's see. Spielberg has revealed that in future films, Indiana Jones could be played by a woman. In an exclusive interview, Spielberg nodded when asked if the next Jones could be female and added, "We have to change the name from Jones to Joan." Because a woman can't have the last name Jones.
Yeah, that sounds like he was cracking a joke to me. But
I mean, I don't know that Steven Spielberg knows how to crack a joke.
Yeah, that's true.
Number 9, is she a gecko? Let's see here. Desiderata, that's a name, I guess. Desiderata rose and stood at the mirror, the longest mirror in the Demesne, whatever, made just for her, so that she could examine herself from the high arches of her feet, up her long legs, past her hips and thighs, in the deep recess of her navel and her breasts, her upright shoulders, her long and tapered neck, deep cut chin, a mouth made for kissing, long nose, and wide gray eyes with lashes so long that sometimes she could lick them.
Okay.
I don't know. Examples of bad writing from the latest New Yorker issue killed me. If she was a dog, she would have been an Afghan hound. But she was not a dog. She was a human female. Her breasts were clusters of grapes, like in the Bible. Her hair was black as night, and her skin was white as snow. She had been dead approximately 6 hours.
I like it.
Oh, God. All right, let's see here.
This is fucking dumb.
So this is the last one I will read.
Okay.
Number 11, occasional vaginal discharge.
Mm-hmm.
You mean that thing that everyone with a vagina gets and is completely natural all of the time? Anyway. The next time she decides to dredge up my unwashed linen in public, I'll counter by telling everyone in earshot about how she suffers from occasional vaginal discharge.
Jesus.
That should do it.
It amazes me because, especially, I don't know, man. It's so funny, especially a lot of like white dudes in politics that make a lot of rules really have no idea about women's biology as a whole, as far as the type of shit that they talk about. But,
wait a minute, I have one more.
Okay. Have you ever heard somebody say, like, I've heard this, that women can hold their period, like pee?
I've never heard that. But I've definitely heard lots of things for people that don't understand how
there's a couple, and I can't, I'd have to look it up quote wise, but I know, like, they were talking about giving women prisoners fucking feminine supplies, right? Like tampons and shit like that. And they're like, no, they've lost their rights. They should just like learn to hold it like you'd hold your pee. And I was like, that's not how that works, dude. But anyway.
But she was, for the bathroom door didn't close due to the old frame of the house settling over the centuries. and she had to sit on the toilet some minutes waiting for the pee to come. Men, they were able to conjure it up immediately. That was one of their powers. The thunderous splashing as they stood lordly above the bowl. Everything about them was more direct. Their insides weren't the maze women's were for the pee to find its way through. I just thought that kind of was going hand in hand in what you're talking about. People don't understand how shit works.
Like I feel like if you're in any type of legislative position that's making any type of laws regarding healthcare, you should have to have some type of medical background.
Sure.
And I'm not talking about like policy for insurance. I'm talking about like, shit like hygienic products, abortion laws, stuff like that. Like you should know how there should be like at least a quiz. Like how many holes does a woman have? Where's the clitoris? That type of shit.
Sure. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So the question I had for you was, if aliens came to Earth and we were going to send someone to meet with them, ask them questions or whatever, who would you want to send? Who's the person you'd want to send to represent mankind and ask those questions?
I don't care.
Come on, fucking asshole.
Fuck me.
Come on, be serious.
I don't think there's any person that would be good to represent mankind, period.
You don't think so?
That exists on this planet right now.
But who do you think could at least ask the right kinds of questions or the right questions?
It would have to be probably some type of astrophysicist I've never heard of.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He wouldn't be a bad one.
Elon Musk.
He would try to. I don't think
he would try to what?
He would try to like, hey, you get fucking Tesla, like SpaceX. Like no, I'm just saying like he's a smart dude, but he's not the type of like that would be like taking an autistic person, give tours at Disneyland. Like they're not going to be good at it.
That sounds problematic.
Yeah, it does sound problematic, but
I am taking applications for co-hosts.
What I'm talking about is like somebody that's severely autistic. They're not going to make a good tour guide.
Why?
Depending on the realm of the spectrum and what they're thinking.
But if they're working, if someone with autism is working at Disney, it's probably because they love Disney.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which means they probably know every fucking thing it is about Disney, which means they can tell you everything about Disney. Right. I think that may be a good tour guide.
I don't know.
All right.
Have you ever interacted with a severely autistic person?
Yes.
They're not personable for the most part.
No, I understand that. But if they have a job to do, they're very good at doing that job if it's something they're interested in.
True.
That's why I think like
okay.
Hunter, if an autistic no. Hunters is what I was saying, not Hunter. If an autistic person was interested in hunting, they'd probably be a fucking great shot.
Yeah.
And race car driver.
I guess my thought is, and again, I'm painting with broad strokes,
sure.
Right? But most of the highly autistic people that I've met, they focus, but their interaction and social skills are not great. Even if they're like super into something, like there's
sure,
still
but you would have to get a high functioning or at least semi-high functioning autistic person to be able to do that.
But again, though, if they're like extreme on the spectrum, they're probably not going to be that high functioning. Is my point.
Maybe
like because you have savants that are severely autistic for sure. But again, like part of being a tour guide is that person like telling those stories in an interesting way and being lively and all that shit. Generally speaking, there's always going to be exceptions. Generally speaking, a fucking high spectrum autistic person is not going to be a good tour guide.
Okay. I think that there are much more things that go into play there than just them being far over on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. I picked a bad example then.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad example. I'm just saying I disagree with you.
Okay.
I just, like I said, the type of the person that's that far on an autism spectrum is not going to be working there. Yeah. So it's an unrealistic example.
And that was the point of the
but the people that would be working there that would
I understand that. But but the whole point was the hyperbole of the comparison. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so there's no one you can think of that you would send to meet with it. We got to send one person. You got to pick somebody to go and talk to the aliens and ask questions. Maybe they're like a genie and the alien says you get 3 questions. Yeah. You can't ask for more.
Right. And well, that's again where I would like some type of fucking like probably astrophysicist or scientist would be one of the best people to put out there for that type of thing. I don't have names. Like, there's not a single fucking celebrity or politician I think should go out, period. No business owner, no businessman. That's all fucking stupid. Because I feel like a pure scientist.
I guess it depends on what you consider celebrity, though, because I consider Elon Musk a celebrity.
He's not a scientist.
Okay, but he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
But I could be talked into sending him. That's what I would say.
Because my whole thing is like, if I
Bill Nye, would you send Bill Nye?
Fuck Bill Nye. I'd send Bill Nye over Elon Musk. But but my whole thing is like, because I would prefer somebody that's a highly scientific mind to go ask questions, because you're gonna get more accurate answers. Because more than likely, if an alien comes down, we have these high philosophical questions that they're probably either not going to, or because we've constructed, like, philosophy is entirely our construct, right? Whereas science is unchanging, or it changes as we understand it. But the law.
Well, that's the beauty of science, is it constantly questions itself.
Right. And so I feel like having somebody that has a highly scientific mind is going to ask more pertinent questions based on what they're hearing.
You don't feel like Elon Musk has a scientific mind? I'm not saying he's a scientist. I mean, he is to an extent, but
he's like a tour guide at Disney World, man.
No, I completely disagree with that.
No, I don't think he'd be good. No.
Okay.
I think he might ask some decent
questions. I'm not saying he would be my choice.
Yeah. No.
I'm more along the lines looking for like a Ross Perot or something.
Right.
George W. Bush.
George W. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would love. Look,
it depends if
we would burn for it, but I would love to send Kenneth Copeland to talk to the aliens. I would absolutely love to send him to talk to the aliens.
That would be fucking wonderful.
Yes.
Jesse Duplantis.
Jesse Duplantis, I have more respect for than Kenneth Copeland. Yeah. But they still are along the same vein.
Yeah. But, I mean, there are a bunch of people for entertainment's sake that I would love to send.
Sure. But I could see there being some comedians that might not be a bad idea to send, because they think about society and culture in a way that most people don't.
Right. But again, I don't feel like that those types of questions would be nearly as beneficial ones as scientific questions.
What's the first question you would want to ask if the world got together and decided we're sending Steven?
Right.
I mean, I'm going into my bunker, but I mean, like, wait, let me go buy some more guns first.
Yeah.
No, what's the first question you would ask? Seriously, what's the first question you would ask?
I would say, like, probably something along the lines of if there are other species that they know of, like, out there, if we're the first contact, just general, like, knowledge of the vastness of, like, there could be a whole interplanetary fucking organization. Like, that would be the first question, would be like, so what the fuck's
Rick
up?
Sanchez?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Citadel.
Yeah. Like basically, like, what the fuck's up? Like, are we the first people? Like, are we super young?
Yeah.
Like,
are we the first species you've come in contact with?
Right. Or are there others?
Intelligent species, I would say. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you ask next? Not basing off of whatever their answer is, the next question you would ask.
I'd probably ask something like what their propulsion technology is for what enables them to fucking travel distances, fucking hyperspeed, all that shit that they would have to be able to travel interstellar.
I think I might ask something along the lines of,
and then the third question is, you ever sucked a dick?
I think the next, did you not turn the volume off on your phone when you came in here?
Oh, my phone's volume's off. That's you, baby.
It's not me.
It's got to be.
Well, this is turned down.
This
is silent. This is silent. Okay. Anyway, I think I would ask something along the lines of, how do we combat aging?
Okay.
Because that's like if we could combat aging, we could live forever. I mean, eventually you die because you're old and your body breaks down. Like, how to combat that? I think that's one. I don't know that it would be the first question, but I something along those lines.
Live forever.
It's not that I want people to live forever, but it would be nice if some people could live longer.
Why?
Because they're smart and we need them.
Yeah.
No, we definitely need them. I mean, think about it. If Elon Musk had died at 19 in a motorcycle wheelie accident, we wouldn't have PayPal. We wouldn't have SpaceX.
Yeah, but well,
he's done more, and his companies have done more of a rocketry, and in the last
NASA has
in the last 20 years.
I would say,
he's done it in a shorter span than they did, but I'm just saying in the last 20 years he's done more. Period,
for sure. But I mean, that's assuming that no one else would have done the same.
It is assuming that, but I mean, why didn't someone else do it?
Maybe because but that's when you start getting into the whole philosophical. Like, is there a collective consciousness that like people are at the right place, right time that kind of jump into that? You never know.
I love philosophy.
Yeah.
I wish I had studied it when I was younger, but
not even just, I just mean philosophical thought in general. Cause I mean, that's making the assumption that only one person can do any one thing at any one time. And I just don't think that's a fucking thing. Like, I feel like that shit happens how shit happens. And if one person's not going to do it, somebody else is going to do it. That's just, there's no way to fathom. If
really you think everything's going to happen, period, whether that person does or someone else, it's going to happen at the same time.
Some variation of it. I mean, it might not be the exact same time at the exact same moment. It might
so you feel like if
later.
Elon Musk had died at 20, let's just say, then we would be at the same point we are with rocketry. It just wouldn't be called SpaceX. It'd be called Space Y. I don't know.
Possibly. Or we might hit,
obviously no,
but
possible.
I'm saying it might not be at the exact same time frame. It might be 5-10 years from now. But yeah, I think absolutely this shit would have still happened. Yeah.
I think I would ask an alien, is gender fluid?
But
I would ask an alien, did Trump win the election?
Yeah.
That's
But
the important stuff.
Yeah. Why is Sleepy Joe so sleepy?
Good Lord, man. All right. So I'm going to promote someone else's stuff. You need to go and watch Kyle Dunnigan.
Okay.
Does a thing on YouTube called Fresh Prez of DC.
Okay.
And he does all this face swap stuff, but it's not the deep fake stuff. It's obvious it's a face swap stuff on purpose. But he does Joe Biden, Ben Shapiro, Biden's son Hunter. He does Caitlyn Jenner, Trump. He does it's very good, and they're all short 7-8 minute episodes or whatever. But he does a shitload of stuff on YouTube with that kind of stuff, and it's very good.
Did you ever watch? It's on Prime. It was off of Funny or Die, but it was the Zach Morris is Trash. Did you ever watch any of those?
No, I haven't. I've heard about it.
So wonderful.
You've told me about it before. Yes.
Yeah. And there's one called A Very Special Episode, made by the same people. It's fucking great.
But anyway, you said why Sleepy Joe so sleepy? It made me think of Kyle Dunnigan because he does a great Joe Biden impression, first of all. But with the face swap stuff, it's just
fantastic.
It's just really good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but no, like as just a small example, and again, this is probably could poke holes all in this if we really dug into it. But like take telephone. For instance, I mean, that shit was invented in fucking like 5 different places all in the same fucking span of, few years of, whatever, just because technology was available. We just happened to, Graham Bell, patented that shit on this side, and the radios was Marconi. Anyway, but all that shit was happening at the same time in various parts. It was really the first person to be able to get patent and mass produce was the person that won the race. But
sure,
but the same shit was happening across the fucking board with no ties and no relation to each other. It's just because that's where technology was at that point in time, and people are thinking the same way about shit.
Right.
So
I agree. I had something else I was going to say. I'm going to tell you, but I can't. I'm trying to find it here real quick.
I'm tired.
Can't remember what it was. God, where is it? Sorry.
That's all right.
So next week.
Yeah. Next week's, is that the 22nd? Is that next week?
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, so we're actually doing 2 shows that night.
Yes, we'll be streaming back to back.
Yeah, we'll be streaming back to back,
but only one's worth listening to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. No,
I was letting you.
Oh, okay. I just said we actually have a very special Halloween episode since we're not going to be recording the weekend of Halloween, so it's our official going to be our live Halloween episode, and we have fucking Janders back, man. Mr. Jay Nielsen and Anders Erickson from Nightmare Gloves, and we're gonna have it's all Halloween or talk horror, probably do some games. I'm thinking be fun shit. Talk to those guys. I don't know why the fuck they want to come back on again.
I don't either. I'm glad they do.
Yeah. I tell you, dude, nothing as dumb as it sounds. There's not many things in my life that makes me feel cooler than getting a text from Jay Nielsen.
I can imagine, and I don't have his number. He doesn't have mine, but I have Anders, and Anders texts me, which is you know, to me, Anders is equally as cool.
No, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So,
I just mean to have anybody with any type of like celebrity notoriety on TV and shit, like to get a text. And, you know, I told him I was going to, did I send you the screenshot what I told him about? I was going to like tell everybody that, cause I got one of his stickers or some shit. And I'm going to tell him that like, his new demand is if he ever comes on the shows, we have to promote his brand in some way the entire time he's on, or else he won't show up.
That's funny.
Yeah. Like we have to do commercials for that fucking sander or belt thing or whatever the fuck he has all the time.
What? Go ahead.
No, I was asking what the fuck are you looking for?
No, I found what I was looking for, but I was gonna say, did you know
I
that
still haven't found what I'm looking for?
Yeah, I know. Not me either, but I found that I thought found it interesting and kind of funny to think about it in use in modern day. Is that before the first mental hospital was created, that you were determined mentally, whatever the words were, was determined by a group of your peers.
Yeah,
was decided whether you were mentally insane or criminally insane or whatever. But just you get a group of people, and I thought, Jesus Christ, we did shit like that now.
Oh man, and dude, one of my favorite things, I shouldn't say favorite because like the evolution of medicine has not always been pretty. Like for madness in women, like part of it, like they would take them to the doctor, they'd hold it down and masturbate them to orgasm to get the fucking crazy out.
There was a
just let them,
show on
because you weren't allowed to jerk off at home. That's the crazy
Showtime or something that delved into
Yeah.
Masters, and it was a doctor. It was Masters, and I can't think of the other person's name.
Yeah,
it's the woman's name, so it's not important. But but there was a the show was called Masters of Sex.
Yeah, Masters of Sex. Yeah. It's about
it's very it's a very good show. Period.
Right.
But it went into a lot of that. Some of the study of sex and orgasm.
Well, it's so funny. People don't realize how much like puritanical Victorian era mindsets we still have with every fucking thing that is not shared by the rest of the fucking world. Like it's so permeated into our.
Well, it's interesting though, because Ireland just recently in the last year or two made abortion legal.
Right, but that's the same. But I mean, that's all the same.
Sure,
you know, puritanical. That shouldn't be Puritans over there, but the heavy church influence, Protestant, you know, or Judeo-Christian, Orthodox Christianity. Like that's such a heavy influence of sex being bad and evil and devil. It permeates fucking everything. And I think that's even people have a hard time wrapping their heads around shit not being wrong.
Yeah,
because that goes into that whole right and wrong and societal thing.
Sure.
Anyway, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah. So next week, the 22nd,
Janders.
Right. Yeah. So we'll do 2 episodes that night. We'll do one with them. It'll come out that next Monday.
They're gonna let us know before. I know we can only do 30 minutes tonight. Fucking cunts.
God, yeah.
I'll call them a cunt to their fucking faces.
We're gonna dress up for our Halloween episode.
Yep.
We may dress up for 2 episodes. We'll see, but we don't know for sure what we're doing yet.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We may do Mario and Peach.
All right.
We'll see.
Dress up with the send us pictures. Tag us on Instagram.
That'll never happen. But,
but if they do,
I would love for them to do it. But that'll never happen.
Go as us. Fucking put a pillow on your shirt for me. Fucking tape glue on.
That would be funny actually to see a couple people dress up as us.
Yeah, glue on some really shitty pubes on your face for Joey.
That is my challenge. Even if you don't go out that way, just dress up. Pick one of us.
Yeah.
And dress up as us and send us a photo.
We'll send you a shirt.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. If you do that, I will send you a shirt for sure. We will do that 100%. You know what? I'll tell you what. We'll send you one of these shirts that say B3F on it. We'll send you a spread neck shirt too.
Yeah.
If you want. If you don't want it, just say I don't want it.
Yeah.
But I'll send you, and I'll throw a sticker in there too.
Yeah. 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 But if we go as one of us.
Yeah. Well, I don't care if you go or not. Just send us a picture of you dressed up as one of us.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure. I don't care if you go to a party.
Oh, no, that'd be even better.
Be even better if you go to a party as one of us. Right. Yeah, for sure.
I'm a fan.
I'll buy you a 1 month of our Patreon.
Who do you think would be easier to dress up as, me or you?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer.
I feel like I wouldn't be.
I mean, it's very easy to go. I mean, you know,
as
hair,
a chubby guy
wig,
with a baseball cap.
Wig, but the glasses, and yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you put on a baseball cap and dress up as a chubby guy.
Yeah,
it's different. Like for you, it's finding a good nerdy looking shirt.
Yeah.
And for me, it's I think it would be easier for me because it's a solid color t-shirt.
Yep.
A solid color pair of shorts.
UT baseball cap is optional.
That or Camille's.
Yeah.
Like
I said, trim some pubes, like fucking glue that shit to your face.
Hey, hockey season started this week.
Yeah.
Last night, first night of NHL hockey. So,
hooray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So,
wear glasses and don't grow a good beard. You're Joey.
Yeah, that's it for sure. No, if you dress up as one of us and send us a photo, we will send you a t-shirt. And
even better if they dress their children up as one of us.
Oh, that's good. Especially if you got 2 kids. Yeah.
That's my dream, is to one day be popular enough that somebody dresses their kids as us for Halloween.
That would be funny.
That would be amazing.
That would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that and we'll send you a shirt. And then what we'll do is if we have multiple people do it, we'll pick the best and send them a spread neck shirt.
We need to start like announcing the shit at the beginning of the show.
We should. All right.
All right.
So next week, 2 shows. One will be Halloween with Jay Nielsen and Anders Erickson.
Another one will be just fucking
just be the
jerking
2
each
of us.
other
as
off.
Far as I know, it'll just be 2. Maybe I can get my kids.
Gonna get some games and shit going on, man. We need to bring them back.
I want someone to call in that wants to play a game with us.
I want to get Gabe to finish his fucking drinking game he was making with us.
Yeah,
because it was a good, like it was well thought out.
It was well thought out. Very, very. Yeah. So
all right.
Until next week. Goodbye. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch at B3F Podcast, and on Instagram at B3F_podcast. YouTube has all of our videos. Support us on Patreon or buy me a coffee at B3F Podcast. Send all your questions or comments to admin at B3Fpodcast.com. Find us online at B3Fpodcast.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen. And as always, thanks for listening.